Yes, girl, slay. Yes.
Look at these guys.
Look at these guys.
Hey, we're like a real show.
That's weird. Holy shit. It's almost like
Separated at birth over here.
oh my bro. Holy moly, Storm of Iron.
Already?
There he is.
Look at us. See scale. Big CP all up in the building.
And I'm the guy, so I got chat. I'm the little guy.
You get to be the little guy.
Oh, Emily. From the belly. Don't touch my belly.
Welcome to Rise and Mind. Live.
Live.
You didn't even have to pay tickets, man. This should be a premium.
It's free. Maybe it will be
Someday.
someday. You're gonna have to pay.
Cheers. Your cup over here. Yeah, it's moving over. I got the create.
Cheers.
Oh, it's backwards. Welcome on in, guys.
This is new.
A new thing we're doing. It's a new channel. And we're going to take a little bit of time to reintroduce ourselves. I'm CP. This is...
Oh, the music's still playing. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Heck. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Do what I want.
I was fucking...
Do what I want.
What can I say? Anyway, yeah, I'm CP, and this is... I'm CP, and this
Who are you?
is...
Space Viking 42.
Oh, okay.
Nope. No, see, today I'm just Matt.
Yeah.
I'm the original MC.
Stuff together.
I'm Matt Crafton. This is CP.
I'm CP from the Dreamers Arcade.
Yep.
What's
And
that? That's the domicile I live back in Maine, and it's also where my creative work is headed. I'm an artist and writer and whatever, and I've come down from Maine. To fight blankets, motherfucker. You want some of this?
Oh my God! Some technical difficulties here.
So we're also a couple guys with ADHD, and so now we've got stimulation of each other and the blanket monster.
Awesome. Hello, Nobu. Welcome in.
Welcome on in.
Welcome. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Who's what? Who is what?
Tip of the hat to you. And this is old Space Viking. He does some stuff too. He does some stuff. What do you do?
It's so weird to think in a way that like no one knows us because this is a new channel. Like, okay, I'm Space Viking 42. I'm an artist and a live streamer. I have my own channel, Space Viking 42, and then I also have this channel, which I'm co-hosting with CP here.
Yeah, we're gonna run this thing into the ground, dude.
Just deep down into the ground.
Deep down into the underground.
Deep dive. This is gonna become our hand signal. Going down.
Going down, down, down. She going down, 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 down. Oh wait, that was lewd. You don't have that on this one though. Lewd counter.
No, we don't have any counters yet.
Yeah, we're all new. We don't have emotes. We're not even affiliated. Tell your friends.
Yep.
Watch us so we get those views. But I guess it's pretty easy to get affiliated these days. You just need to
You just need to be cute.
show up. I think we got the Dreamers Arcade affiliated like in under a month.
Yeah.
Because I had CP Sketch.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then we switched over because Abso collaborated. So I've done this kind of before in a way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it works out. And I had a podcast called the Pizza Cat Chat Podcast, and I say had. I don't know if I told you this even. The Pizza Cat Podcast, Pizza Cat. Fuck, it's that dead. Like it's dissolving in front of us. We're taking a break for a while. 32 French, who is our podcast mate, has got a really great opportunity right now, and he's working with a team of people and pursuing his music.
Oh.
He said he just did a big show with like stage light, and he's opening for like indie rappers in Boston coming up.
That's amazing.
And he's been in the grind a long time, so I'm really happy. And I told him, I go, that's what you should focus on. So he's gonna take a break, and it was really Abso, our other partner, and my partner, my wife, who put in a lot of work, designed all the assets. So she may be taking over the Pizza Cat Chat podcast.
Oh, damn.
And, having people on for interviews. And
That's awesome.
so we might be able to do a collaboration there. So everything's changing. It's the almost the end of a year, and Here we are.
End of a year, and here we
Comfy,
are.
man. I'm gonna take these Crocs off,
You're
bro.
gonna- You're gonna get comfy.
People used to make fun of me because of my Crockin' socks.
Your Crockin' socks.
Because it's just kind of, I don't know, but now I just wear black socks and no one seems to notice. That's the key.
Oh my goodness.
That's the key. And I'm newly back to wearing jeans. I didn't wear jeans for a good 15 years. Used to wear them all the time growing up, and then one day I fell in love with something called cargo pants. And if you have
Cargo
ADHD,
pants.
fashionable or not, which they are now again, you know, you got those pockets mean a lot.
Cargo pants are like the ADHD uniform.
They help.
Because you want to have the thing on you. You don't want to worry about having it or losing it. So if it's attached to you, you can't lose it.
And I'd compartmentalize, so I'd be like,
Yeah.
wallet here, you know, phone here, and it would kind of help me like know that I had my stuff to leave for the day. So I wasn't like,
Yeah.
do you do this? The whole.
Yep, it's like, oh god, the the knee slapper, I like to call it. Yep.
Do I have my stuff?
Do I have
my stuff?
Do I have my stuff? I don't know if I have my stuff or not. Guys, how's the audio? This is pretty much brand new for us, so let us know if the audio seems off.
Yeah, normally, you know, Space Vikings in there just like getting intimate with you guys, but we're taking a nice laid back view of us on the couch. And yeah, what are you doing over there? Oh, he's getting his things going. He's doing I can just entertain you guys while he does all the work.
Do it. Entertain them.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about, actually, you brought up this subject.
I did.
Oh, it's echoing? Why would it echo? Let's see.
There's another thing on over there. You see there's two audios?
Oh, the computer audio. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's why it's echoing. Thank you.
I'm not great with computers, but I'm great with observation.
There we go. Thank you, Nobu. So let's reintroduce ourselves one more time, just so that I can cut it to here, because that was some. No, this is what we're gonna have to do for the first episode.
I know.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I can't. I don't know
No,
if that laugh
I'm not
is...
putting my. I'm not doing this yet.
Yeah. Online tech support will bill you later. Yeah, Storm.
Cool. All right, welcome to the first live Rise in Mind podcast. Let me introduce myself. I'm CP Sketch from the Dreamers Arcade.
You want the cut? All right, cut. Cut it off.
Cut.
No introduction for me.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Space Viking,
All right, no.
aka Bashful.
Okay, from the top.
You? Yeah, you start. You lead it off.
Oh, you want me to? All right, welcome to Rise of Mind, everybody. I am Matt Crafton. This is Sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Who is this guy?
So we're both artists with ADHD, and I'm the old man, and he's the handsome Viking over here, and he does a lot of like space art, and I do a lot of surrealism, I guess I'd say.
I do some fidgeting. That's what I do.
He does some fidgeting.
I just fidget all over the place.
I do the stuff dreams and nightmares are made of. So yeah, check me out over in the Dreamers Arcade.
Oh.
Check this guy out on Space Viking 42.
Check out.
Thanks for digging deeper with us. Hey, yeah,
thank you for the follow, Nobu.
Thank you for the follow. We're working our way to affiliate.
Yep.
And
we got the follower goal right there in the bottom left. If you want to track the progress, as you've noticed, we're kind of retro gaming themed, primarily Dig Dug, and
by primarily like hardcore Dig Dug, if you haven't noticed.
Since we're reintroducing the podcast, so like let's talk more about why we chose the Dig Dug theme.
Because I have a unhealthy obsession with Dig Dug for the entirety of my life. No, I love Dig Dug. It was a game that I always identified with. I love that and Donkey Kong because it represents working class people, much like like the movie Ghostbusters did. They're fantastic settings with monsters and ghosts and stuff, but at the end of the day, they're just like exterminators and guys mining and things. And I grew up in a carpentry background, and I connected with that stuff as I played games and gravitated to those games specifically. Also, I have a lot of fond memories playing that game with cousins and stuff. And I, to this day, continue to play it and really love it, and have done a lot of art. And with my Dreamers Arcade series, there's going to be some Dig Dug inspiration as well. So this podcast is great. When Matt said, "Hey, I'm down for doing this," I was like, "That's awesome," because I've been waiting forever to do stuff collaboratively in the Dig Dug theme, and it's helping me develop some of my ideas and things like we've talked about designing our own cosplay and Dig Dug suits and doing like skits and things like that. And I'm like, who the hell am I ever going to do that with? This guy. So we're on board. And in addition, you want to talk about the metaphysical side of how that thematically ties into our podcast.
I became very attached to this idea of including Dig Dug in the theme because it's almost like, in order for us to truly discover like the real nature of the human condition, we have to do some real digging. Like, there are barriers that we have to break through.
Absolutely.
With heavy equipment, and that equipment being philosophy, science, technology. In some cases, there's tech that's come out that has helped the sort of self-discovery. Like, people are finding out so much more about themselves now than they did 100 years ago.
Oh yeah, with mental health, like awareness, how neuroscience of chemicals in the brain.
And then the idea of just digging tunnels and creating new paths to your goal. You're going to encounter monsters on that journey through the earth, through the dirt. You're going to find the monsters. Just like in Dig Dug, you find monsters and you have to obliterate them in order to progress, or carve a new path around them. Sometimes the monster can't be killed.
Yeah, and sometimes you can work with the environment itself, drop the rock on the monster, and it's a great metaphor for what we do here. Sorry, I just brain farted.
That's okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Game over. But
so it's really good to have everyone in here. I don't normally watch the viewer count, but it's for our first show. 6 viewers is amazing. So thank you so much, guys, for coming to hang out for the first show.
I told them not to, because that stuff will put you on edge.
It will, but it's kind of unavoidable with here.
Yeah.
If I can pop the chat out somehow. Oh, I can. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyone said anything good? What you chatting about? Oh, that's from the other podcast.
Oh, Nobu, you just saying ooh ooh.
Hey.
And then Nobu wants the cut. So there will be episodes of this on YouTube. Part of the reason why we're making a new channel is so that I can just directly port stuff over to YouTube. Mm-hmm. And we're also trying out a new setup with the timer. Like, as you guys can see, the timer on the screen. We're going to be a bit more strict about that. If subjects come up in chat that are getting a bit beyond our subject,
never happens.
We're not ignoring you. We just have to move on.
Yeah, and we'll address more stuff at the end, but we will try as we go on, if it isn't too much of an interruption, to address your questions. And if you have questions, put them in there, and we'll take note of them for the end as well.
And share the podcast too. Like, if you guys are on certain Discords that maybe we're not on, feel free to shout out this episode in those Discords on our behalf. We'd greatly appreciate it. Help us get to affiliate. That way we can have emotes, we can have more interaction. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out. And
is this TOS?
It's not TOS.
Me having my foot up like this? It's covered. I mean, that's a big, nice foot.
Storm, you can keep it all up to
you
can keep it to yourself, Storm.
Bro. He's gonna get us canceled, and we haven't even gotten fucking hired.
We haven't even started yet.
Jeez, man. Yeah, pull those shorts down a little bit, dude. Fucking nuts falling out. Okay. Anyway, and I remember what I was gonna say.
No feet pics allowed in here.
I remember what I was gonna say. You were talking about digging tunnels.
Yeah.
And as it relates to the brain, your brain has neural pathways. All those little grooves that you see.
Yeah.
So like those are grooved in. That's what your brain is. Those are your tunnels. But at any time, you can start to dig a new neural pathway, and it takes a while, but eventually the current will start going down that. But it doesn't come without a lot of hard work. Usually you have to dig deep. The deeper you dig, the more monsters you might find. But we want you to know at the end, there's a nice breath of fresh air. We surface, and we're up here with the flowers, and it's all good because you need a little bit of relief after a big intense session of digging deep.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little dark. I even found we tried a segment during the last episodes on the Space Viking 42 channel. We were trying a new segment where we tried to pretend to be aliens, and we talked about a funeral, and like I found some of my biases. I found my own like, oh, I hate this part of human society, and I'm going a bit too hard on this. Like I don't need to, and like I actually dug some tunnels and I found some monsters, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I tell you what. This is weird having you right here because I can do the thing.
Whoa. Whoa. Shout out Dudesy Podcast. That's one of our recommendations.
It's a time out you go.
Sometimes we do a little quote from that. That's a great one. Anyway, the
necessary though.
It's necessary.
The digging the tunnels, even though you might find some stuff you don't like about yourself, that's your clue though. If you find something you don't like about yourself, that gives you a chance. Once you shine a light on it, once you bring the tunnel there and you dig out around it and you really inspect it, that's your time to go, how do I not do that? How do I not be that person if I'm discovering that that's who I am after doing all the digging?
Yeah, that being said too, like it unlocks some things with me. I realized when you're role playing and acting as a character, some of the stuff that you pull from to create those characters is like your true feelings. And I'm like, I'm kind of playing this up, but I'm kind of like side referencing this thing, and ranting about something that's definitely something I'm struggling with. But if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have that moment where with the coffee. The bleep bloop.
What are you talking about?
Remember when I had the coffee and I was like,
if we didn't do the alien thing, we wouldn't have had that great clip. Shout out to the Instagram. Click on the socials below the video here and go to our Instagram. You'll see the clip of CP getting so far into character that he didn't know how to drink liquid. It's like aliens might have their own method of drinking, but I don't know if that's.
And then like, what do they drink? Like they could drink diesel fuel or.
What if they absorb from humidity? They absorb the water.
They sponge it in.
They just sponge it in.
Well, a cat doesn't sweat, right?
Yeah, cats have to do that weird panting thing to expel heat.
And dogs, doing the heh. I don't want to do it. It would look. These days, you see people doing lots of shit. The NPC kind of culture, and people eating fucking glizzies in the air, and it's like, I don't know, man.
Yum yum.
Becoming
yum yum.
Becoming AIs and shit.
Yum yum.
I don't know, man.
That's some good stuff. Yum yum. No, I can't even do it. I can't even go live on TikTok. Like TikTok keeps like removing my followers. Like I've hovered around 650 for 2 years.
Oh, on TikTok?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I think I got like 5. I haven't actually posted anything on it.
You gotta really post like incredibly consistently, and you have to like gut punch people's attention like right out the bat. You have to be like thing, or they're not gonna hang out. They're not gonna actually like follow you or care. Yeah,
I was trying to think about it, and because the Dreamers Arcade has this fighting trash thing, I wanted to just destroy stuff a lot. But and then I'm like, does that provide a bad message? But I do want to take sledgehammers.
No, that's brilliant.
Yeah, people would love it.
You should do that.
Yeah.
We should go to the dump and like gather garbage. Like some of the stuff that's like really broken that no one's gonna want anyway, and then we take it all back to like a field, and
Fine.
then we office space that
Yeah, I
shit.
was just thinking, die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die!
We should do that for the
Back
Rise of
up in your
Mindful.
ass with the resurrection. Just Michael Bolton out there, fucking boom, boom, coming back
Yes.
to that. Yeah,
Oh my god, that's good.
I love that movie.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, we should definitely do it. Betty the Magician, who's a longtime follower of the Dreamers Arcade, and will be in the graphic novel as a character. She said she'd watch that to no end.
Oh, we should definitely do that.
She loves destruction. I mean, I think that's the thing. That's the format. Like, people just like quick shit to get your attention. What do you watch on TikTok? I mean, I watch.
It's against TOS for me to talk about that. No, I'm kidding. It's a lot of artists, like a lot of artists on TikTok, and then I follow a lot of the comedians that do skits. I get really like stuck on like the comedians that are pretending to make a commentary on society. Like they were during the TikTok ban congressional hearing.
Okay.
There was a comedian pretending to be an old congressman and not knowing what he was even asking. Like, TikTok's in my phone, and my phone is in my pocket. Does that mean that there are Chinese men in my pocket? Like, that's the kind of stuff he was doing. And I'm like, that is the funniest shit. And I followed him immediately. So I'm following like about 1,000 people on there now.
Oh, okay.
And most of them are comedians. Some of them are artists. Some of them are people who've just creatively put themselves out there. And I just want to support it. Like, hey, you're just being you. Like, do it. And then a ton of ADHD people. I follow so much ADHD content on there. Like, that's where I got the acronym Dave from that I sent you this morning.
Yeah, okay.
That guy I follow on TikTok as well.
You find some of that can be fake news, though?
Sometimes.
I'm starting, like, I
Sometimes.
got really caught up in the Instagram Reels version of it, and then I started to realize, like, no, these people are, like, writing books about ADHD, so they're, like, a little bit more qualified, but then some people just say stuff, and it's not always the case, so be mindful of that stuff. But I have found Reels with ADHD stuff almost a little bit more beneficial than actual doctors.
Sometimes.
Because it's visual and the way that it's short format.
I got lucky.
It really helps with just how I can receive that information. But on my TikTok, I follow a few friends, and then it's just maybe a nobody really. But I love to watch people just fight. I just love to watch.
You watch people fight.
I love chaos. It's my guilty pleasure. Epic fails, all this stuff. But like, you know, when you see someone like wiling out in the street, and there's someone from an office building, like, look at this motherfucker right here,
This
and
guy.
just recording it and giving like a little commentary, or someone who's like a dick at the market, or just different things like that, or someone, you know, who's trolly shit. I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah.
Not super mean spirited, but. You know, I'm lying. I'll probably follow some pretty toxic shit. But that's.
But is it toxic because it's not good for society, or is it actually Is it hurting anyone, or is it just the people are hurting themselves?
I mean, yeah, it's a view of like people just not being kind, and I think it's because I expect that. So when I see it, it's validating, and I'm like, yeah. People suck. That's
yeah.
funny. That's cool. Like that video I sent you the other day. Like, it was just so mean. You're dumb. Like, you don't repeat yourself. We're smarter than you. It was cracking me up. But yeah, is this the introduction?
Yep.
Because we got 6 minutes left.
This is the intro.
Or we're gonna talk about the what we're gonna talk about today.
Yep. That's
Okay.
We can sort of lead into that now.
All right.
So we were talking on Instagram to each other, and
Were we talking?
we were speaking. We were actually having a somewhat of a conversation. I can't believe I unironically said say yes, fam, during that conversation just now. So sorry.
No, you
I
actually didn't.
apologize.
You said you didn't spell it right,
Oh, I didn't.
and I was confused. You didn't. It said "say less, fam" or something,
Yeah.
and I'm like, less, and so I go.
I thought you were supposed to say less.
I thought he said yes, so I go
Huh.
say less, so I type do it.
Yeah.
I thought that was less.
that is that you're
I
right.
was like,
Yeah,
do
you
it,
took
because he's like, want to get food, and I'm like, yes, which is less. Then he goes, say less, fam, And I go, do it. There's a little bit of our conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I can break the code of, fat finger typing with ADHD running out the door. So you probably do voice to speech too. Or do you type?
There it is.
Are you fact checking?
No, I want to say what we're about to talk about and why it came up in the conversation.
Oh, look at the way we speak.
Yeah.
We have kind of a non-language sometimes where we just make stimming sounds and shit. Like
See.
beep boop bop boop.
So I accidentally said up instead of yup. And then you said, what does that mean? Am I up? And then you questioned it, and I said uppies. And then you were like, Matt, language is fun. And I'm like, it is fun. We should talk about that this weekend. So language.
Did I respond to that?
You did. You said that we should.
Where?
Up there. You said.
Man, see.
You thought you actually no. That's what it was. You thought I meant the other thing. The thing before we had that interaction.
Oh God! See, that's the thing with these Instagram things. Like,
yeah,
we do this too. I try to do a little bit. I try to do one brick at a time. This fucking guy, he types a sentence, but it'd be like, "Hey man, what's going on? How are you today?" Like all separate. And
how are you doing?
He'd be like,
today?
"Hey,
yep.
dude, what's up?" Like all separate.
Yep.
And then sometimes he'll throw like a couple ideas out and then just drop a couple like reels on top of it. And I'm like, which one do I address? The one I like the most, and I'll like the other one.
There you go. So I want to talk about how language forms, how it's so fluid, and how I want to talk about how people get so up in arms about grammar, about sentence structure, when it's literally all made up.
Yeah, and
that's what always gets me.
Like your and your, all that stuff. People like I remember when it was like, I don't know if they still do it. I don't go on Facebook. I'm done with that. And when people are trying to question the validity of someone's argument, and so they attack the language, and that's what happens in our system too. If you look at politics in the way that like a Congress will speak to one another, they have to be very careful about what they say, and a quote unquote good politician will be very careful with semantics. And that pisses people off too, where they say something like, "Yeah, I'm not at liberty to like say," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then, I'm like, but that's them doing their job, because they need to appeal to people, and they can't have people attack them because they said stuff. Now, if you go to town council meetings, you go to these little small town council meetings, that's fun. Because people say wildly offensive shit, and then it's like, "Hey, dude, let me explain the next 5 minutes why you just said the most sexist shit ever, the most racist shit ever, and educate you in front of the whole room of people." Now, that stuff's fun, but...
Let me educate you.
Yeah, let me educate you.
Yeah, but they don't like that.
No.
Well, someone has to be open to education in order to receive it. So grammar is important when it comes to preciseness. You want to do a preciseness of language, that's always key. Preciseness of language is key. But what's interesting about the fluidity of language is that you can be precise and completely change the words around. You can change how they sound, what they look like, and your brain knows. Like almost all the time when I'm telling someone something, I might flub a couple words, but they get the picture, like completely.
Yeah, your buddy CP over here understands that.
Yeah.
Because he fashions himself a bit of a wordsmith in the rhyming.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I mean, there's different emphasis that you can put on things and rhythms, and
there we go.
I like doing impersonations too, and that's all part of it too. Figuring out cadences, figuring out like impact, figuring out where, like, my old art professor was like originally raised in Boston but went to his master's in Texas and married a woman from Georgia, and then it's like, when he gets overly excited and he says "I know," it's like "I know," and it's like he has this little thing in his throat, but it sounds a little southern to it, and it's like I had to pick up on all those things to figure out his voice. So yeah, it's interesting how you can really change things. And then we're talking about like language. What language? English?
Well, that's
know?
another whole nother level to it. Is I only know English and I barely know English, and then someone else
I barely
will
know
know
English.
multiple languages.
I know a little Spanish.
And you'll hear them go through full sentences, and sometimes they'll break into the other language because what they're expressing works better in the other language, and they can do that in an instant. Like their brain just flows right into the other language. And
Yeah.
you'll hear it with. I've heard it most when. I think this might have been done in a movie though, so it might have been like, hammed up. But it could have been like a movie where I think it was an Italian gentleman, and he was angry, and he was like spouting off like, this and that and this and that, and then he just flowed right into Italian.
Yeah,
because he's like passionate in the moment. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that has something to do with.
Have you ever had that happen?
Not with English.
Have you ever? Well, you don't really have much of an accent, like a regional accent.
That's true.
I would say
I have that. Like you definitely know I'm American, but you don't know you don't know what state I'm from though.
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah, and I'm from Maine, and you'll pick up some Maine things every once in a while how I speak. But when I used to drink, you'd notice people who suppress accents.
Yeah.
When they get really drunk, their Maine or Southern accent starts to come out.
Right.
And it's like because they're putting on something. For some reason, they're suppressing that, and I don't know why.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know why. Well, I think they get that goes into the it's literally made up, and we need to stop being so uptight about it. Even though the preciseness is important, I don't think that we should make fun of a person or tell them they're wrong for an accent. I think that's what happens sometimes to people.
Oh, pronunciation.
Yeah, they try to say, "Oh, you're saying that wrong." It's like, no, I'm saying it Maine.
Well, I don't know, dude, because when my dad calls the Grim Reaper the Grim Reefer, I probably should correct him, but I don't.
Probably.
And when he says poison ivory instead of poison ivy,
I got an idea.
Yeah, I don't know if he does that, but my dad, not only does he have a Maine accent, he just has wrong shit. Abso, she can say this. I used to call the what's the little strip in the middle of the road called?
The median.
Yeah, with an N, right?
Yeah, it ends with an N.
It's not a medium, right?
Oh, see, that's that could be regional. That could also be nature versus nurture.
No, it's just wrong. It's my dad. My dad called it the medium, and I thought,
oh, he did.
That makes
sense.
I thought
you were saying M did.
No, she corrected me because my dad used to call it the medium.
Oh, damn.
And it's in my mind. I go, that makes sense, dude. Here's one side of the road. Here's the other. And that's the medium. That's small, medium, large, buddy. That's all right. But this guy called milk like swilka and they called the dogs grog, and we call him hogbog, and he says a language of his own.
Are you ready to break ground?
Break it, buddy.
Okay.
Chug.
We're also on Instagram Live.
Yeah, if you want to see half of us in like an awkward thing, and
an awkward half.
I think he just flashed his underwear though a little bit.
You can see my underwear all you want. We got the mature tag on this thing, do we? I don't know if we do. Actually.
I don't know, dude.
Oh heck!
There's an 18+ stream. We're not even affiliated. What can they do? What can you do?
Us down
but according to my old podcast mate, dude, he was like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. I go in, I see people having sex and smoking weed, and I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, don't be pedantic.
This ain't
kind of what we're getting at.
This isn't Justin TV. It's just we've moved on. You want that, you go on the OF.
You go on the OF? I forgot how to run my own stream.
How's it going there, Matt?
Because we're in studio mode.
I love your beard over here.
Studio mode.
Matt could go invisible every once in a while.
Valuable skill.
Oh, and speaking of studio, we're just going to, in addition to this new podcast, he's this guy's going to revamp his area a little bit and move some things around. So you can expect that, and that on Space Viking 42 channel. If you don't follow that, you can catch like basically 8 months. Well, there's not all in there, but like the last few at the tail end of 8 months of Rise in Mind.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff will be uploaded to other media, YouTube and whatnot. Check it out, Rise and Mind.
Mind and Rise.
Mind and Rise. And then check me out, cpsketch.com on Instagram and dreamersarcade.twitch.
C.P.
Yeah. Look for the guy with the big glasses who's got a photo that's like way younger than it should be. I feel like a fucking cringe lord.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're going into the breaking ground.
we're gonna break the ground. This is where we start to break down what the language is. Oh yeah.
Break.
And
break.
And these are assets that Viking and I worked together, the drawings, and he created a lot of the, he created all the animation
If whoever
stuff.
did the background animation with the coffee cup sees it, thank you. I will credit you if you give me your name.
Oh, see.
So I didn't make that shit.
Fucking hack,
I'm gonna be honest
dude.
about that. I'm gonna be honest about that.
All right, well, you had me fooled.
So we're in here.
Hey, can you slam that shovel yet?
No, we're not at the slam.
All right, get ready for that in the future. Anyway, slam that shovel. Maybe that could be one of the songs.
Maybe it could be.
I'm gonna have to look forward to the Rise in Mind Dig Dug themed rap album.
So we got.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here, baby.
We got language. We're discussing language today. So when you see this cup, right? So
La Luna.
this cup
That's
is what color?
black.
Well, no. Well, you're seeing the shadow, but like, what is it when the light hits?
Oh, it's like a dark cobalt blue or
it's
something.
like a cobalt blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's like teal and.
how do you know? How do you know that my mind is not seeing red and just calling it blue? Because that's what I've always been told. Because I look at a color, I go, what's this? I'm a little kid, right? I'm learning colors. What's this color? Everyone else is seeing blue. So they point at it and they say, that's blue. And my brain makes the connection. Ah, this color is blue.
It reminds me of
So
that.
what if this was red?
That reminds me
And
of the dress.
Yeah,
You know,
it's similar to that, but that was a trick. That was a light trick. This is more of a conceptual, like when we're forming our concepts of the world and language is forming in our brain. It gets jammed in there. Like we don't know that we're colorblind until it becomes a problem to the rest of society. But if we're seeing a completely different color and it means the same thing in society, then you would never know that there's a difference.
It must be an application when they start to realize, which would be coming up soon, when they start to say like, this is red, this is blue. But then when you're taking your driver's test and like, stop on red lights, you mean green? You know,
but there's no language problem there though.
Well, if they get,
but
if they get into an accident and they'll be like, oh, it was like, and no, that was the wrong color. It was on the bottom, and they'll be like, yeah, but that no, and then they realize
if you become colorblind later in life, then you can actually tell.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because like things when your interactions could create a situation that reveal it to you. I would imagine that's how they stumble down onto it.
Yeah.
I actually went to school with someone who was colorblind. And in art classes. It was really interesting when she would paint in colors, but primarily the professor had her start with like black and white, and then she started integrating color or just like one monochromatic shade.
Oh yeah.
And the paintings were amazing because they were so intuitively off from what you would do, but they were still really nice. You know, it kind of rejected a lot of the art rules of color theory and stuff, but created kind of a polarized version of that. Yeah, she was cool. She ended up touring in like took a bus and built it into one of those like homes and went on a tour. Yeah, fond memories and color theory and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, language is something that's weird. And then it's like, and then we're saying red.
Yeah.
What is it in Spanish and what is it in other languages? And then
What is red?
some people have multiple words for things. Like in Alaska.
I think my favorite thing about the multiple words for things is a bunch of different languages have phrases for certain feelings that don't exist in English.
Oh.
We don't have in English.
Do you know any of them?
I don't have them off the top of my head, but I can look some up. That's part of breaking ground is we learn together with the viewers here. So
yeah, it looks.
That'd be what are some examples of that?
Really cool. Yeah, the people of Alaska, I think it's like the
Inuit.
Yeah, the Inuit population they have like 30 something words, I think, for snow. I don't know the exact number, but they have different words. And what it is to describe the types of snow, because you live in an area that has snow like we do, you realize that, depending on how cold it is, it might be very light or it might be really heavy if there's a lot of moisture in the air. Maybe icy, the wind, how it moves. So it's like I could see that there's like, oh, what's it like? What's the snow like? Like, oh yeah, I was out and they say that word and it like helps inform the story because it's more important to them because they have to live in it more. Yeah, and do you have any like weird words that you've like kind of made up for things?
Oh my
like
goodness.
we were talking about earlier, like my dad has a lot of weird words. And,
I've taken a lot of words that in meme, late 90s and early 2000s, and they've made it into my language. And like shoop the whoop.
Okay.
You guys remember the shoop the whoop meme? Like whenever someone's about to fire a large gun or whenever someone's about to make a really tricky shot, shoop the whoop. And it's like I don't know where it even came from.
No, that's cool because you're talking about something that's really relevant to the language, is how the impact not only of region but your specific cold culture that you prescribe to.
Yeah.
Whereas we're nerdy guys, we're gonna just know when we see each other or we meet people at a con, we're gonna be able to say things in what gamer culture. Being here on Twitch, you guys know what GG is, but you can't be like
GG.
Yeah, you can't be like GG to like some random person, some boomer.
Okay.
They're gonna be like, what?
So let's ramp this up a little bit even. So it's 100 years from now, and there's a entire amphitheater filled with people in black robes with green trim, and it's the Church of Razor. And they say, and they do their sermon, and then they go, I'll say in the Almighty Gamer God, GG. and it just like it gets out of hand. Like it's something that started so humbly and then goes to a whole nother level.
Yeah, something happens in society and the gamers feel ostracized, and then like small group radicalizes, and then 100 years later you have a form of language that inform, help, or control people. And then you're in a cold culture that could actually be manipulated by language, which is something that happens often too. There are ways that people can switch language around and gaslight and mess with people.
You can use it to manipulate.
There's
a I don't want to talk about politics itself, but politicians do often use a very specific type of language intended to elicit a very specific emotional reaction. And you after hearing it for a while, you do start to hear that it's a style of speaking, and it's like, oh, they all kind of talk like that.
Yeah, it's called boring as fuck speak. You want to do an impersonation of a politician? You got to act like you're falling asleep at your own words. Representative English.
So I brought up a list. This is from www.efedu.edu. And these are 13 beautiful words with no English translation. I cannot. This one's German. So this is the feeling of solitude and connectedness, nature, when being alone in the woods. It's Walden Samkeit. It's a Walden Samkeit, I believe.
Is it?
Walden Samkeit.
I don't know German really well. Walden Samkeit. I don't know. It's Walden. It's like Walden Pond but it has an I in it.
It's probably wool.
Yeah.
Walden. Yeah.
I know the next one.
I know like the accent, but I don't know the words exactly. So this one's Japanese. Finding beauty in imperfections. I probably need this tattooed on me somewhere. It's a wabai sabai. No such thing as perfect. Nothing.
Oh.
I love that. That's cool.
And there was a word I learned recently. I don't know the exact definition, but they made a movie about it. It was called like Sisu or something, It's like a vintage film,
Yeah.
like where this guy finds gold in World War I, and then he tries to go back to his family, but he has 70 miles to go, and it's occupied by German soldiers, and they get him, you know, and they gotta get his stuff.
They're gonna get him.
But he's a badass, and he fucks them all up. But it's like a John Wick style thing. But he,
Right.
I think Sisu translated to like basically like Wick, like man of pure will, you know, like in determination. And I like that word. It was cool. They actually defined it in the preview for clarity, because they're like, people are gonna be like if they didn't say that in the preview, that's a good example.
Right.
If they didn't define what Sisu was, I would have thought it was the dude. Like, my boy Sisu over here.
Oh,
Like some goofy dude, his name's Sisu, and he just like, that's because I wouldn't know, like, what is Sisu? It must be the dude's name.
What did it mean again?
It's like it's like John Wick. It's like man of will and determination. It's strength. Like you can't be brought down, kind of stuff. Here, we'll get my phone out too.
Yeah.
Hey, look, like we were at the Olive Garden with each other, dude. Hey, what's up, dude?
How was work? How about that weather?
Sisu.
How about that sports team?
What that sports ball do?
What'd you have for breakfast?
What that sports ball do?
I had some bacon and eggs. I had a burrito.
Yeah, thanks. This guy got some burritos, and we didn't know he mixed. He's a weirdo, man. He mixed impossible ones with like real ones, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna mix them all together. We'll just eat whatever." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I still don't really know which one was which. They were both good as fuck.
That's the best part about doing that. That's great. Oh my goodness.
So, yes.
Lana, thank you for that follow.
Hey, thanks. It must be the shirt.
I got burritos. Yeah, we're gonna have some reruns. So I'm still figuring it out, but I'm gonna take all of our recordings, and I am gonna be playing them in the coming weeks on this channel. If you guys want to see the episodes that played on the Space Viking 42 channel. So we got a few others here. Did you get the meaning of that one?
Yeah, I just want to tell you. It's called, translated as resilience and perseverance. The Finnish concept of Sisu is about never giving up, no matter how impossible the task may seem. And its heart lies in the idea of rebounding from failure and using the experience to grow.
Oh.
There we go. It's Sisu Rise in Mind. Like,
That's really good.
You know,
That's
it really
good.
works with what we do here. But I love that word. But yeah, Wick. He's a man of pure will.
Your will.
Baba Yaga. Which, you know, that's the boogeyman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, in John Wick, it's the boogeyman, but in Down the Road, it's a shop, and it's a witch.
Yep.
It's like, you know, things mean different things. Like, even a name and a title and a word, like that, as for example. This is a little side dip, but, yeah. Got any more of those,
I do. We got feeling of butterflies in your stomach. Usually when something romantic takes place.
Oh,
Like
so
when I saw your car in the driveway.
he pulled in, man. Oh, it was like it was weird. It's fucking weird, man. I came to his house like at like 8 a.m, and then he pulls in after me. Like, I'm like,
Baba Yaga.
how backwards is this?
So this word's interesting because in English, if you use all English stuff, it's killig.
Killig.
But that's like those letters sort of pronounce almost like a negative connotation. Feeling of butterflies in your stomach. So it's like killig?
Killig.
Yeah. Italian. This one's Italian. It's ouvre.
Oh, that's a romantic language, though. Like, I should know this more. Come there.
Sounds right.
No, come avere.
Come avere?
It's got the e. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the feeling?
Kumi.
Yeah.
No, kumo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, como avere. It's abso. It's That's funny. This is how language is going to be.
Yeah.
I go, hey, Abso. It's Commuovere. How does that sound? And then she's just going to type it into there.
Yep, she did that with the Walden one.
How's that going to work?
She said long, short, long, short, short. So is this something that you know from music, Abso? Because I know that you're a music
No,
major.
she knows Spanish.
Oh, so
She grew up in New York and
Wald,
took like 6 years of it.
Wald ein Samkeit, the first one.
Oh, she's really good with languages. Just
That's cool.
and you know, like I find ADHD is really hard with words anyway. Like I flip things around and I'm backwards. But when I just took 1 year of Spanish, it really helped with my overall language.
Yeah.
Because I started to understand some of that language, and then I was like, all the little bullshit that I forgot and didn't pay attention to because I was like crazy hyperactive kid and missed in English, I kind of relearned in Spanish, and I'm like, oh, that applies to probably English too, and it clarified some things. Yeah, diction's important.
So what are some words you've made up that don't have a meaning to anyone but you?
Hogbog.
Hogbog?
That's probably the funniest one.
Hogbog?
It's what I call my dad. I call him Hogbog, but not to his face. I'm like, fucking Hogbog's out there. You know, usually it's like if he's annoying me a little bit. And then Abso calls him Hogbog, and it's like, it's Hoggbogg, Hogbog. And what
B-O-G-G?
so my father,
What's it mean again? Did you say or?
no. It's
Okay.
it's what I call my father.
Oh, you
and
call him Hogbog?
not to his face.
Daddy Hogbog.
I just
Father Hogbog. Oh, now he's a priest.
Oh, now it's getting even funnier that you said father.
Father Hogbog.
Okay, so this is how my dad is. He's weird. He's performative like me. And then just like sometimes he wants a little attention, I think. And we've done carpentry for years. And we were doing a roofing job. We were actually working for my grandfather. And this guy, he goes, hey. My dad, he goes, hey.
Hey.
Hogbog. Hey, you. Luke. Use the force. Hogbog. I'm your father, Hogbog. I was like, he goes, get it? And when he said get it, it was like, you're doing a Star Wars quote?
You couldn't have been farther from getting it when he said get it.
I still don't fucking understand what he was doing.
That's what the face that you're making says to me.
And then one time we were in the boat, like years later, and he goes, I am your father, off the front of it. And for some reason, he just like stims out on these like Star Wars quotes and adds different words into them. Like it's the funniest shit ever.
Oh my God, that's
and now
great.
in hindsight, it's kind of endearing because I'm like, I get what you're doing, Dad. You're just fucked up like me. And so I told my brother-in-law and some friends, and we had a Halloween party.
Yeah.
This guy gets a cake. I think it was the Halloween party, yeah. He brings a cake, and it goes, Happy Halloween, Hogbogga. Because he said Hogbogga with an A. The first time.
Hogbogga.
He goes, and so we had this cake, Happy Halloween, Hogbogga. And then we didn't eat it all.
God, that's so funny.
We didn't eat it all, and I gave my dad a piece of the cake, and a lot of it said Hogbogga. And he probably didn't even fucking look to even see it. But he doesn't know for like 15 years this whole Hogbog thing has been. It's just because my father has a predisposition to just make up words to be funny or goofy. So I've got a lot of them that he made up. And I also read things wrong a lot. Abso and I have one called macrocall. And that's just...
Macrocall.
I go, what's that say over there? We're going around a rotary. And there's a sign, road sign. I go, what's that say? Macrocall?
Macrocall?
It said Hammond. It said Hammond.
Well, here, since we're talking about language, what do you think happened in your brain
I think that's a Hogbog word.
It's a Hogbog word.
And actually, Abso will say when I'm acting up, you're Hogbogging. You're acting like your dad.
Quit Hogbogging it up.
Yeah, quit Hogbogging. Because like, I'll be like, oh man, motherfucker. And then she's like, you're Hogbogging.
Quit Hogbogging.
So it's actually a verb now.
Oh my God, that's great.
But it has expanded over all this time. And macrocall was stupid. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's this guy. And he was like riding a motorcycle. And I was like, John D. Macrocall over here.
John D. Macrocall.
And I just said that. And then one day we saw a guy on the turnpike doing like a wheelie, like holding a wheelie for like a minute.
Yeah.
I go, fucking macrocall over here. And now I use macrocall anytime I see someone on a motorcycle acting like
That's so
reckless. I'll go like, macrocall. It doesn't
Something,
mean anything, but it does to us.
One of the ones my brother and I use a lot is borf.
Borf.
It's just an expression of greeting. It's like borf.
Borf.
Yeah, borf.
When we do boop.
Oh my god. What were you doing? We were at a gas station once.
Borf.
And
Borf.
I just looked over to my brother and I was like, getting gas. And there's the way that I said it. And I think that there's something to that, like the way you say something too. He just lost it and just started laughing so hard. And my dad was like, What is so funny out there? I'm like, Dad, we're getting gas.
We're getting gas.
It's like, my dad just starts laughing. He's just laughing because we were being silly.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the need to want to be silly, and I think that's why my dad did it. But, like that same idea.
But here's where I'm going with this
Uh-huh.
whole conversation though is, do you think that Hogboggin and Borf
Uh-huh.
and the way we said the word gas in 100 years time, if people keep talking that way, would become its own language
Absolutely.
over time, and then it would no longer be silly, and it would be more silly to go back to regular English.
Yeah, I think how things are used, and like I think a lot of people through the arts, theater, writing,
Mm-hmm.
words get introduced, quotes, like you said, memes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a creative form. So yeah, and I think you're a writer. You do graphic novels, and I do too. And if I had an exclamatory phrase like this hogbogger over here, like
This Hogbogger.
and it became like a term for something that defines something, people might, if they really liked it, quote it, like kind of how we do with Dudesy. Think about that. Will Sasso is on Dudesy, and he's doing a Hulk Hogan impersonation. But then now we a lot of times will watch the podcast and do a impersonation of Will Sasso doing Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
So it's like it's 3 layers deep, and then like if you continue that, yeah, eventually it cascades, gets altered too.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. The meaning of things will change as well. Not only will things be introduced in most current examples like LOL, things like that, shorthand, things that are computer inspired are entering the dictionary. We're adding new words all the time to the dictionary, probably taking some out. So it doesn't all have to be antiquated. And I think most of us don't speak like that. A lot of us don't speak at all. We just text back and forth, and then that's subjective too.
Mm-hmm.
Like reading language on a thread. If you can write words right, like yes, and
reading and writing.
Are you up?
Well, actually part of breaking ground is to go to the source, right?
Let's go for it.
And the origin of language, spoken and signed, as well as language-related technological systems such as writing, relationship with human evolution and consequences have been studied for centuries. Let's see.
So bored with it.
I'm bored with the introduction of it. Like I don't need the synopsis. I need the answer.
Get to the fucking point,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So the gestural theory states that human language developed from gestures that were used for simple communication. So it's saying that writing came first, basically. It's like we
Okay.
wrote in the air, and we wrote symbols,
Oh.
and then
Yeah.
we'd be like food,
Yeah, like-
thing, and we grunts and stuff, and eventually the grunts would change into actual sounds, and we'd start to learn association of grunts to sounds.
That makes a lot of sense because you figure you would be using your hands more, so you'd be used to moving them, making things,
hunting,
and doing
making,
stuff,
yeah.
and doing a sign language. Whereas, like, if you didn't really talk,
Yeah.
you could wail in pain and grunt and groan and anger.
Yeah.
But like, how nuanced does that become over time, where it's multiple languages spoke by 8 billion people, and sound and singing, and that's another interesting thing too. You know, like Abso could talk probably more about this, but I believe is it Japanese or Chinese? They're so good at learning music so quickly because their language is based in pitch.
Right.
So they learn the music, they learn musicality through their language. So they have that kind of by default. So they're not learning it from the ground up. So if they even start when they're like, you know, older in life, they're like, oh yeah, it's just like how we speak.
Yeah. Abso says both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to the Rise in Mind assistant, Absolutely. You've helped so much with the podcast just by interacting and assisting us with different questions.
Yeah, thanks for keeping us on track. It's always good to have an Abso around with the shit show that is us.
Every ADHD male needs.
Honestly, if Pizza Cat Chat didn't have Abso, that would have just been me and Julian getting baked.
That could have been called something else then. It could have been the Pizza Reefer podcast. Sorry.
The Grim Reaper. Now you're doing the Grim Pizza is the Grim Reaper Pizza. The Grim Pizza Reefer.
The Pizza Reefer. So to wrap up Breaking Ground, we got about 4 minutes. So how did this will probably play into how language works. When you wrote Do the Pizza or Dreamers Arcade,
This is what I
you
love.
did some great word combinations that work really well together, that make you visualize exactly what your sticker turned into. And then the pose too. Like,
So I gotta tell you something.
yeah.
Right out the beginning, it's wrong. I love it, and it's so applicable to what we're talking about.
It's wrong.
You said I wrote it.
I feel like you wrote it.
I made it all up on the spot.
Oh, so it wasn't. Well, yeah, you didn't write it, but you created it.
Well, what happened was like I came up with the idea of the Do the Pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw a video years ago of Snoop Dogg standing outside like an event, like a
Right.
gala type thing.
Yeah.
And he poses for a picture. And he did some shit. Like he put his arms up in the air and he did some Dracula looking pose. And my friend and I were laughing like, Snoop, that's wild, dude. Like not just like stand there. He did like a caricature. And that's Snoop, man. It was just awesome. And we got such a kick out of it. And I think I always remembered that. And Target had a pizza costume. And I took a picture. I told Abso, take a picture of me. And that's what I did. I did this kind of thing. And I go, well, I'm kind of like the pizza. I was making this triangle thing. And then I think I wrote the idea of a hook in my head. So it's good. And this is another thing. Oh, you guys know who Jay-Z is, right? Jay-Z, famous rapper, like super successful. I was watching like a documentary or something. He said, he goes, I create structured freestyles. And he goes, what I do is I write some of it, I create a hook, but then I let the beat inform it. So I kind of make it up, kind of create it. And I started thinking about that. And I had the hook down, and we were in our old Nissan Versa with like just random beats playing in the background. And there's other versions of where there was like an R&B one, and they were just like garbage. Like, you know, they fell apart. I broke the flow. But then that one beat came on, and it felt so right that one take, dude. That Do the Pizza is, and if you guys want to check it out, it's on Dreamers Arcade as a follow, and hit me up somewhere. I'll send it to you. But it was just a one-off. It was just me. That particular beat came on for the first time, and I was like, coming non-stop with the pizza pepperoni, and I was like able to like
Can you do it?
over.
Can you do it right now?
I don't know. It's like
Do it a bit.
and I don't actually
do it a
know
little
it.
bit.
I've heard it a million times,
Right.
But I don't even think I know the song.
Because of the freestyle nature, right?
Yeah, and I'm starting to because we'd play it during the intro, but it's coming and it's weird without the beat. Coming non-stop with the pizza pepperoni, hot out the oven. You're my one and only. the pizza. Pleased to meet you. Got that? Something like something done. Hot flame fire. Something. Pizza don't retire. So you don't even know it.
The pizza never retires.
The pizza. Yeah. The pizza don't give a shit.
Was the pizza pepperoni.
Something. Fuck you'd swear.
I know there was the the chorus was like, do the pizza.
Yeah, throw our hands up high.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one there because it made you feel welcoming. It gave you an image, and it told you like who you were as a person, all in like a very quick, like 3 lines.
That's cool.
Because the pleased to meet you just invites you in, and I was immediately enthralled by this song. I was like, oh, this is fun.
and I don't know how the hook came up, but I feel like it came up in Twitch chats.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I don't know. We'll do a deep dive on the origin of the pizza. But yeah, I wanted it to be welcome, and also anyone watch the Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
I used to, but
at the end,
only for a short
Captain
while.
Lou, do you remember? Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. But it's similar. I used to love that and sing that all the time. So do the pizza. Like, what's do the Mario? Mario. It's a dance. So if you were to do a dance and you were a piece of pizza, what is a pizza? Well, I went with a triangle.
Triangle slice.
Pleased to meet you. And with that, because it was that Snoop Dogg pose. And,
rise in mind.
Yeah, rise in mind. But then I get into a better flow because it's the best. It's not in Italian. It's hot in jest. I love that.
It's hot.
It's not in Italian. It's hot in jest. In your belly. I actually brought that up.
It's not Italian. I like that. It's not actually Italian.
I love that. I love
the history of it.
Well. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. No, it's not in Italian. Like a sandwich. I was meaning because do you have those? Maybe that's a regional thing. We're just talking more about language. Do you know what an Italian sandwich is?
No.
See? And he's like one state over. You can only get them in Maine.
Well, I'm also living under a rock. I don't know anything.
It's just Maine.
That's why I'm doing this show, because I don't know anything. I want to learn more.
No, people. I have friends who like move to Florida and stuff, and they're like, I don't miss shit about Maine, but I'd like an Italian every once in a while. And that's like people are like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
But it's literally an Italian sandwich, what they call it. It's a sub roll.
The Italian sandwich version of
I don't know, dude. What is it?
There you go.
Do the Italian.
I'm just giving you a trap beat. Don't worry about the video.
I'm so tired.
You're so tired. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. We can save this for
What
another
the
time.
fuck do you even rhyme with Italian? Medallion?
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian.
Our good buddy Jack Holder, Presbyterian. He's not Italian, but he eats an Italian. He's an Italian rap. No, he's not a rapper, but he's a writer. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing.
You just rhymed Italian 3 times. You can't do that.
You can't? I broke the rules?
Well, I mean, you can, but you can't be like, hey, I like Italians. You know I'll eat Italians.
Yeah. Well, this is like, that's where the mumble rappers kind of go. They just say it a different way, and it's like apparently rhyming still. Yeah.
That broke my brain. Now I'm trying to think of it. Italian. Megan the Stallion. There you go.
Megan the Stallion.
Yeah, Italian's not
big
running
into
around.
the playing with words. That's what this episode's all about. We can actually save this if you want to save this for the breath of fresh air. Because we got to get into the deep dive anyway.
Chivalrous. I was like thinking like chivalrous night, Valiant on Valium, sucking down Italians, listening to Megan the Stallion or some shit. It was just getting real weird.
Hey yo.
Where was the mark?
Could be the mark.
But no, I loved that flow.
That's a good flow. Galleon, Scallion, Evangelion.
Yeah,
I see that episode. That's great. Stallions and
Evangelion.
Yeah. Kappa. Yeah, I would Kappa.
Oh, come on.
Well, the Kappa, I don't even know what that even means.
It means like, it's like, psh.
It's like, come on.
It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of cringy. It's like, I don't know, dude. Like,
thank you for digging.
Hey, Instagram Live. You know,
Cat 3.
CP over here, soloing this. I I feel.
Oh, we got the follow alert working.
Hey, all right.
It took-
Thanks,
long enough.
motherfucker. I mean, who was that?
That's Katie Cat 3. Don't call her. No, she'd appreciate that. Oh my kidding. Katie Cat 3.
I'm trying to help you,
You're doing
motherfucker.
great. We're going into the deep dive.
You ever see her, man?
We're going down.
Let us go
Tiger.
into the deep dive.
To help you, motherfucker.
I'm trying to help you.
I love that one.
Welcome to the deep dive, everybody.
We're going down,
going down
down,
into the
down,
deep
down. I don't know why I'm singing that Springsteen song.
Going
I'm gonna get
down,
democked.
down, down.
I sing so accurately like Bruce.
Ah. I don't know what that was. I don't know how to sing. That was my like. Can my voice do this? That was my.
Can you
my
hear?
question mark.
You don't know how to sing? I mean, I
don't know how to sing.
Are you tone deaf? Do you know?
I don't know if I'm tone deaf. I'm definitely lack rhythm. I know that for sure.
You can get rhythm pretty easy by just drumming on shit. I'm surprised you haven't. You weren't the kid, in the fucking high school just. Fucking...
I was. Well, no, I was the kid in high school. Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Do I got all my stuff for school? Am I ready for school? Welcome to the deep dive. Am I
got
ready
a little
for
gallop
school?
going on there.
We're also live on Instagram, guys. If you are of the mobile variety and prefer a different format.
If you want a weird debased side angle version, if you want a multiple angle, you can get the Instagram up and be like, oh, you can be like, you can direct your own, make, those games, make your own music video for Sega CD.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at you guys out there.
You guys on Instagram.
I'm ignoring you. I'm cheating on you. Twitch, Instagram, IG, Italian. All right. That was it.
That's it.
I don't like that beat. He always plays this Bart Simpson beat.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is the first time I've ever done that. And what do you mean always?
Dude.
Have I done that before?
Dude, go in the Discord and you'll
yep.
you look later. You put it in there one time before and I rhymed over for some other shit. I think you put it on the YouTube and it was like,
oh, maybe, yeah.
It was terrible. This guy always likes to pull my fucking card over here and be like, rap on the spot, dude. I'm like, oh, jeez.
You're so good at rapping on the spot.
Yeah, but I'm also like, I had 3 hours of sleep last night and I had 3 hours of sleep the night before, and like my brain is like not coming up with any type of rhythm right now. It's just like no
rhythm.
Macro call, hog bog.
Hog bogging?
I can get real like existential at this point.
We're hog bogging, straight slogging. It's been a long week. I can't even stop it.
Dude, you said that's been a long. Do you remember that Aaliyah song with Timberland?
No.
It's been a long time. Slept you. Need a dope rhyme to step to step to. It's all I can think of. It's been a long time. Hog bog. Hog bog. The hog jog. The
We've
hog
been hog
nog.
bogging so long I can't even talk long.
Yeah, we've been hobnobbing with hog bog, sucking down hot dogs, glizzies for the kids.
Glizzies for all the children, all the boys and girls can have a glizzy.
That doesn't sound right at all.
It doesn't, but that's the imagery you just gave me.
Cut that out of the podcast we put on YouTube.
Cut it out. No, none of this
Cut. You can catch it live.
None
No,
of
it's
this
fine.
shit anymore.
I mean, they're doing that shit. I don't know what they're doing. They're getting rich. Like
Who's doing it?
these kids playing
Coming out the oven, hot flame fire.
Yeah, coming out the oven,
Alright,
hot
guys.
flame fire. Pizza something, fucking retire.
You ready to dive deeper?
I love when it goes, I don't care, something, pizza don't care, says fuck you and swears or something.
Fuck you and swears?
It's something like that in the line. I'm up on it, I don't care. Pizza says fuck you and swears. It's so stupid. But, and then you can hear that Jay-Z thing, because when I'm like, I lost it for a minute, but I was like, to the P, but it kept me like on that. That's very signature.
To the P.
Jay-Z, like
For every child.
that part.
Oh,
P,
Katie,
P.
thank you. I love how we match too. So we're going into
No,
the
no,
deep dive, everybody.
this is our uniform.
Yeah, we're deep diving. We're diving deep.
We're trying to
So,
be like kind of
language.
masculine, with our hats. I got my bro hat, but see, I got a little sparkly unicorn on it, and we're
Bruh.
bruh. Dude, you get real cringe. I'm
Yo.
a middle-aged man with my hat backwards, dude.
Hey, yo.
Look at how fucking stupid I look. Guys, if you're over 40, fucking turn that shit around. Turn that shit around, dude. But no, we're sensitive, introspective men, and we don't want to. We Well, I've been ostracized for that, right? Like people.
I haven't been ostracized because
Oh, you didn't grow up during the 80s.
Well, I kept it.
They used a lot of fucking
All right.
demasculating words for creative kids.
All in all, right? So right after I tell this short story, we're gonna get into the deep end.
Okay.
I was a little kid, and there were times when my dad would get very angry, and he would scare us with his anger, right?
You guys are like, let's get the gas.
Yeah, well, no, that was
guys.
That was different.
Like Mr. Mendelia from
This
Dumb
was-
and Dumber.
this was
Guys,
like his
guys,
idea of-
guys.
His idea of discipline was to like scare us.
Yeah,
And-
my dad did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was so young that it would like bring me to tears.
Yeah.
And he'd come in and he'd say, "You better not be crying, or you'll have a reason to cry." He'd give me the whole, I'd give you a reason to cry. And it's like,
no, yeah, that's old.
why do you
boomery.
say that to a kid? And that's why I kept all my feelings to myself for so long. But it wasn't until 2016 that I realized that I'm fucked up.
Shit's fucked up.
My shit's fucked up. Like, shout out to Dudes Who Podcast. My shit's fucked up.
Get yourself some Tronics.
Yeah.
We're working on our own Tronics here, our own Ryzen Mind Tronics.
And
But yeah, no,
that's when I picked up the drill and I started digging.
Started digging.
And that was when I got my impact drill, started slamming into the ground until I found the monsters and defeated them.
Well,
And
we're in progress.
except for Jeffrey.
Oh,
I allied with him.
yeah, that's another side point. When you see monsters down in the underground, keep some distance. Hear them out.
Also, shout out to
Shout out what?
shout out to Kitty Cat 3.
Yeah, you're
As
awesome.
well.
You're awesome, Katie.
She's one of the people that helped me dig. She walked up with a shovel, like, "How you doing there? Need a hand?"
That was a great impersonation. Impressionation. I didn't even say the word right. Speaking of language, impressionation.
Actually, she might even say it that way. Come
maybe.
to think of it. Jokes aside, that might even be a phrase that she would use. But so.
Oh no, you can still joke about
No,
it.
that scared that thing with my father though, that scared me to the point where I didn't want to feel, I didn't want to pretend to feel. I got all super macho.
Yeah.
Getting in fights with people who I'm friends with now. I was fighting people in middle school just to show that I'm strong too.
Yeah, I'm not weak.
Yeah, and like there was a kid who at the time they didn't know what autism was. I actually like bullied an autistic kid before we even knew what it was.
Yep.
And like I wish I could talk to him now. Like it's one of my monsters that I wish I could like soothe instead of defeat. I want to find him and apologize like to him in life.
Yeah.
But I who knows where he is now, you know?
It's probably cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Everybody had someone who shit on them. Some people more than
Right.
others. But I think at the end of the day, everybody shit on somebody too. Like, you know, in your case, you feel bad. But there was this one girl, like, I don't know, I used to fuck with her all the time. And like, I did it because like she was in my advisor group and she was really loud and obnoxious. And then like I knew I could get a reaction out of her. And then the guys in behind who I was trying to impress would like it. And it's like, in hindsight, it's like, what an asshole. But people did that to me. But that's the thing. It was just, it's such a shitty reciprocal thing that kids do. Like, they get, someone attacks them and they find someone to attack.
True.
But you're fine. Hey, chat, any of you guys be shitty to people? And I found out years later too. And I've had friends who said that. They're like, yeah, I didn't realize, like, I was mean to this person, or I was
not being an okay human.
like, I thought this person was my friend, but I was completely bullying them and had it all twisted. Or they're like, yeah, we were friends, right? And like, no, I hate you, dude. Like, you called me all kinds of shit, and it's like, it's selective memory. Like, sometimes you just don't remember, like, 20 years ago, and you're like, yeah, we used to play basketball or something. It's like, yeah, you kicked me in the dick.
Over and
over again
and
while I was on the ground, and you said, no dick, stomp, stomp, stomp. You made a song.
Did this actually happen?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say children are assholes.
It throws him. That's moving into a bit.
Yeah. So, well, it throws me because like I know you, but I don't know you that well yet. So like sometimes you'll tell a story, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry that happened to you, and you'll be like, nah.
Yeah. No. And I roll with bits, and I Abso's been with me for like 20 years, and I can still, it's pretty good at it, but I can still like get really serious and be like, I'll say something, she'll be like, whoa, what? And it's like, I think you're pretty much onto it now.
Yeah.
It's a tone, but I just play into it, and I'm very convincing. I can just die inside and go into a different mode.
Just like get all dead inside a little bit.
Or channel some feeling. You know, I'm very empathetic, and I have a lot of stored stuff. So yeah, I can hit a switch every once in a while. But yeah, I think we all did that.
Yeah.
We all were danks at the same time. What were we saying right before that? Before we were like,
before we got on that
before
tangent?
bully prevention.
Oh,
starting up.
Well, we were just getting into the deep dive, so we hadn't actually gotten into it yet. But
we're just at the surface.
So what?
Fucking having a coffee.
So we're at the surface, just being like, yeah, my dad was an asshole. Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I know the only thing I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And this is why I couldn't remember, because it's just a little one-off. I swear, our dads and that respective silent generation, I think they'd call it, greatest generation, and boomers, people who were impacted by the Great Depression, war, and lived through a consensus time, and then got hit again by it. They had a certain way that men and women operated, and there were people trying to break those societal norms. But on the level, you know, there's some really strict gendering, and men had their roles and women had their roles. And that being said, our dads, I would say we're all by default raised by John Wayne. John Wayne's really our dad.
John Wayne.
Have you ever seen that video where it's like, that boy doesn't know how to swim? Well, I'll show him. And he throws him and he's like drowning. He's like, well, you better figure it out, son. And I saw that and I'm like,
I'll show him.
I was like, that's what our dads watched, you know, that kind of entertainment. Maybe not just John Wayne, but there was a certain way that you were expected to act. Like, you weren't supposed to be like, you know, weak. The only word I can say is weak, because when you say other words, they're really offensive, and that's the words that people would call you.
Calling them weak.
And you know what they are. You know what other words for weak are. And then you say those words. I remember when I was older, and I would still say some of those words, and I said a bad word one time playing a video game in front of a friend of a certain lifestyle, and I go, sorry, man. So it's a habit, and I'm gonna work on that. And I don't mean it against you. In the 80s, it was just a way to say people were weak, and then I go, oh man, that's even worse, dude.
Yep.
Because you're not. You're a strong person, and like mentally and probably physically.
You're a strong person.
Oh,
mentally and physically.
Hey, you want to talk about the weakest thing I did recently?
What?
Weakest thing? No, remember when I go to this guy. I go, hey man. I get out of the car. He's going into a Hannaford. It's a grocery store here. I go,
oh jeez.
Hey, why don't you get this little snack we can share?
Yeah.
And he did. He got us some M&Ms.
I love that shit.
And I was like,
yeah, road snack.
And I was like, no offense. I go, man, that was probably the gayest thing I've ever said. You know, because but it felt good, man. It feels nice to share a snack with your friend and
when I come
be sensitive and kind.
I came up with some M&Ms. We got some M&Ms for the trip back to the camp.
And this fucking guy, such a good boyfriend, lover. He left one in the car.
Yep.
So I got to go home and eat some more.
Yep.
I was like, what? He could have took those. Like,
so the way to be a good friend or a good lover.
M&Ms.
Each one, no, forethought.
Oh yeah.
It's all about forethought. It's all about planning for the future, whether it be your drive home to have some M&Ms, or it be making the bed in the morning for your significant other. You know, it's like little things like that really just matter a lot.
Yeah, and that is important. It's good for me to hear too, because like I went through a weird roller coaster ride over the last year, and it really screwed up a lot of my relationships based on my own perception.
Yeah.
And I was isolating and driving myself away, and I found since getting back like on track, and it really is those little things, like writing down 5 things you're grateful for every day which I wrote you twice over the last 2 days, dude.
Yep.
4 days. My friend Matt has ended up on the list of the top 5.
Oh, heck.
Yeah, I think you're up there with my wife. She's working her ass off to fix this crazy shit show hog bog macrocall.
This dang hog bog macrocall is messing up my shit.
And he went southern with it.
My hog bog macro. That sounds like a southern word.
My hog bog mackerel. It's
my hog bog mackerel
mum-
call is the best hog
it's
bog
that-
mackerel call that you could ever hog bog mackerel call, and this is hog bog mackerel call.
It's that regional mumbly like Texas kind of boomhauer type. Did you ever watch Ed Bassmaster? He plays a character called Mumbles. He'd be like, "Come on, Markham, danceums," and he has like his own language. That's another thing I can show you later. But yeah, Ed Bassmaster, character actor, does pranks in public, and he plays a guy named Mumbles with like a hat. He's like, "I'm from Malt Licky, Texas," and he'll say this, but he'll just be like, "Oh, you coming on a Slim Slam on a Malt Licky on the wheat," and he just says weird shit, and people like, some people like are like, "I don't understand you," and
This is what the deep dive's about.
Yeah, some people are like, "I'm trying to figure it out," like
deep diving.
and then some people are like, "Oh yeah," and it's like, they don't know what the fuck he's saying, but maybe they do. Maybe they feel they do, like the emphasis.
I'm gonna read a poem here. Okay.
All right.
It's a romantic poem. It's not. No. So I'm gonna read a poem.
Get this filler.
No, this is what the deep dive is all about for language, right? So the main thing we're talking about is how language is fluid. How we shouldn't be so uptight about it.
Like this guy's sexuality.
How it's needed to be precise for certain reasons, like in legal, in government, in engineering. You need preciseness of language. But if you're just hanging out with friends, maybe lighten up about the grammar.
Yeah, shout out SAE, standardized yay.
Standardized yay.
Yeah, SAE.
That's the standardized.
What is SAE?
Yay.
You know what that is?
No.
I thought you knew a lot about mechanics.
Not that.
It's the American. It means standard. I think it's standard American manufacturing or something like that.
Oh no, I'm not aware of that.
So here's a little side note. Ford and all those guys, I think Tesla, all the early inventors created a group. No, it's Society of American Engineers is what it is.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to standardize everything for manufacturing because they were inventing stuff. And they go, if we standardize our parts, we can use our parts interchangeably.
Yeah.
But then, you got metric system and threw it all up.
Yeah.
Fucking guys,
so
you and your metric. No, that throws me off. ADHD and math.
Yeah.
You put SAE and metric beside each other, I rage quit. I'm done. What the hell is this measurement?
I'm done, bud.
This isn't real. So there's a language I struggle with, numbers. But here we are.
Yes.
Serenade me.
I'm gonna serenade you.
I'm gonna put my.
So this is Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. This is like my first experience with how fluid language can be and how you still know what he's saying, even if they're made up words that no one knows. And tell me if you get lost in the visual, because I think even though these words are made up, you're gonna know what the visual is, and that's sort of what they did for me.
Okay.
So it's called Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. It says, "'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wob. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome wraths outgabe. Beware the Jabberwock, ye son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jib-jub bird, and the shun the frimerous bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the max zome fought the sot. So rested be the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tuggy ode, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack, and he let it dead, and with its head he went a galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Question mark. Come to my arms, my beamish boy, O frabjous day. Frabjous. Calu Calais. He chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and a slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wob. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome wraths outgrabe. That's the end of it.
That's really interesting.
But
Yeah, no,
did you visualize the whole scene?
Parts of it,
Okay.
I could see, and sometimes with my brain, the ADHD head, it helped because I was trying to figure out the word in the context.
Yeah.
So I was focusing even more intensely. So I think it made the visual that much richer. Yeah, that's really cool. But a lot of it is too. Weren't a lot of them like adjectives and things so they didn't necessarily matter because you'd come up with your thing like the tum tum tree.
Yeah.
You know, like I pictured
What does it look like?
a robust or fat, like a thick tree.
Oh yeah, like one of those
I'm the
like
tum
Sahara
tum tree.
those thick trunked Sahara trees.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the borogoves made me think of like a swamp.
Yeah.
And then like now I have this image of the Jabberwock living in a swamp. The Vorpal blade. Some of these words, the one part of the reason I wanted to bring this up is that some of these words have persisted since Through the Looking Glass came out.
Yeah, that's true.
Like chortled, people still use chortled sometimes.
I've never used
But apparently
it
that's
in my life.
Apparently that's still a word. Like
chortled.
Yeah, chortled, and then
EU fans, shout out! You guys use chortle? That sounds
Yeah.
like something like Kirby would run in.
Well, chortled
Hey,
is
chortled.
it's used in some writing, I should say. I don't know if it's like a
Chortle.
spoken word much, but people still. I know some writers are still
I'm
using
sure
chortled as a. So chortle is when you respond quickly to someone excitedly.
Yeah, like me
Yeah.
every fucking time I
Yeah,
speak.
when you're like, oh,
Like I just did.
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh,
yeah, that's apparently a chortle.
I'm like, Abs would probably know that.
But,
with their
like,
literature back
Slithy?
then. Slithy?
Slithy made the like. Twas
I
brillig.
liked his second album,
Twas brillig
MC Slithy.
and slithy toves. So this
That sounds like Slippy
the beginning
Toad.
and end of the poem. So 'twas brillig and slithy toves. What does that make you?
I always think of brilliant because there's certain twas brillig, like because it sounds like brilliant. Some of them have the syllable sound that makes me feel like it's a word that they're leaning into, and they're also putting like words like blade. So when there's an adjective in front of it, it's irrelevant. It's a descriptive word, and if the description's up in the air, you can make whatever because you already know it's a blade. So there's thought. You know, there's action. Like, he's choosing to use some really like distinct
like
words.
1 2 through and through. The Vorpal blade went snicker-snack. That is like he's stabbing it.
Yeah, and like came
And you
whiffling.
can feel it.
You know, obviously it's coming towards you. So what's it doing? It could be coughing. It could be, but it's regardless of whatever you think of, it
So-
doesn't matter because it's still coming at you.
He made a word that's galloping, but it's backwards. That's what galumphing is.
Oh, so-
it galloped but backwards because it just got stabbed.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's some brilliant
So he's-
wordplay there.
So he's remixing it.
Yeah, it's a
like,
remix. He's taking
Put
English
your thing
and
down, flip it, and reverse it.
he's
Which you
put-
don't know
yeah.
Missy Elliott.
he's
but.
putting the record of English on his spin table and
Yeah.
messing with it, and we can still hear the rhythm.
Yeah, and because
find the meaning.
that's the other thing you said, rhythm, because there's a
Yeah.
meter and a cadence, and
Yeah.
like there's already things that are expected. That's the great thing about working,
And that's language.
and that's language,
That's what
brother.
language is. It's the rhythm. It's the we build up a like a catalog
Mhm.
of songs, and every word is a song, and every sentence is a different song, and we can remix and rebuild our song every time we choose different verses, i.e., the words in the sentence. And that's why I'm calling this that's why I'm doing this in the deep dive, because that's what it's always meant to me. And I don't know if this is true. I don't know if there's an actual like scientific thing to go with this to prove what I'm saying, but I've always felt like language is just song.
Well, it's derivative from nature, so yes, science would be because think of songbirds.
Yeah.
Think of what we were inspired. Nature has a rhythm. Even the stuff we make, like honestly, I fucked up and I didn't send you a video, and I kind of want to do it, but there was a lot of people in the laundromat yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the machines, the dryer was going, and it was seriously going. It was creating a like this weird rhythmic beat. And all I had to do was just start hitting the side, I could have like started spitting the thing and done like a quick video. But there were so many fucking people around, and everybody's seen that before. But you know, it's interesting, how these things do exist in nature.
Yep.
And then they're also impacted by time. Like hip hop, which I enjoy, turned 50.
Oh damn!
You know, it's been out for 50 years. And why I like hip hop and video games and stuff? It's because it exists specifically within our time frame. Like there's other stuff that came before, like movies came before, writing, poetry, but hip hop, what it is and what it's named is came out within our time, and so did like the video game culture.
For real.
And I find it significant to our experience and my experience as the individual artist in the larger world. But hip hop, you know, like those it has a cadence, much like the poetry.
Do you want to keep talking on this subject?
Huh?
So I gotta run and.
Oh yeah,
I almost forgot about my laundry. I'm gonna go flip that, or we could do a BRB.
Oh yeah, if you want to do a BRB,
we can do a BRB. And guys, thank you so much for hanging out this far. We're gonna do a quick be right back and get some more coffee. I'm also doing chores at the same time because I only have so much time in the world to do things.
This motherfucker doesn't pull all-nighters.
I don't pull all-nighters. We shall be right back, guys. Feel free to chat about this amongst yourselves if you'd like, but we'll be.
Talk amongst yourselves, like Mike. We don't either.
Dive.
I hope it's something wild. So we're in the deep dive.
So you were just talking about how much I need to get another cup of coffee.
Yeah. Oh, he's back. He's back, but he's not back.
I'm like, wait.
Welcome back to Rising Mind. I'll be your solo host, CP Sketch, the sketchiest hombre in New Hampshire right now. I'm living free or die. Speaking of language, like I'm not sure exactly what that means. What does live free or die mean? What's your language getting at? Is that like a 50 Cent album?
It might as well be.
Oh, let's get rich or die trying. Same.
That is the 50 Cent album, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same idea. You should probably put that on the license plate.
Oh my goodness, I think it should be. How'd you get Rise and Mind themed muffins?
They came from the Rise and Mind factory.
These are the right colors.
They're the same place that makes these shirts. And maybe this phone case. And so I had a professor, just for the whole thing. My professor also really liked Dig Dug, and he was a Gen Xer, so he was really more in the, because Dig Dug came out early, like I think it came out in 1980. So like for a kid of the 70s, you know, they're more attuned to it. I was just a little baby, but speaking of language, you just make a sound. This guy, see, that's why language is randomness. I found that randomness, if you want to make people laugh, you just say a bunch of
Elder Cheese.
Elder Cheese, what's up, dude?
Yo, Cheese Elder. I got crumbs in my beard.
Hey, yo. I brought him a pumpkin muffin.
Hey, yo. We got Rise of Mind themed muffins.
We're trying to be basic. Hey, no derogatory, basic. Hey, you know, we love pumpkin spice. I'm just saving it for later.
Spicy.
I know you guys want to see him mukbang this motherfucker right here. But,
look, I need to eat to think, and I need to think to eat.
You got a little cheese in there, dude. Elder, we're repping some cream cheese. How you feel about that?
Yeah. It's
sweet, just like you, buddy.
What is the eldest cheese?
The eldest cheese?
Yeah. Is it like brie or blue cheese or what?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. What would be the old mold? The old mold. I like to get old mold from old Hannaford up here.
What did we say? We said ancient fromage.
Ancient fromage.
Yeah.
Hannaford. Yeah, going to Hannaford, get some mold old buddy. Yeah.
Guys, we don't have the shout outs set up yet, but definitely give Elder Cheese a follow as well. He's right there in the chat. A brilliant ceramicist, wonderful dude, general chaotic natured fellow, which I love.
No one ever called me brilliant.
You are brilliant. Dude, you're so brilliant that I'm blinded.
Quit being a mark for Elder Cheese.
Quit being a mark. He's my very good friend. He's my very good friend.
Like you guy.
We've got to stop quoting other podcasts.
It's just Doozy. We've got Doozy on the brain. Doozy's a fun podcast. I mean, I watch a lot of comedy podcasts.
It really is.
But Will Sasso, man, he's great. And in that moment you're talking about, it's just so kind.
Young Milk. Yeah.
That was my MC name. How'd you know? They used to call me Young Milk.
He's my very good friend. Also, this guy is pretty good. Yeah, thank you, Elder.
This guy?
this guy.
I mean, I drove 2 hours to see him. He must be pretty good.
We gotta all take like a big trip to Philly.
Is that where Cheese is?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Cheese, I love Philly. We're doxing you. Good job, buddy.
We're doxing you, but it's
when you say his name and social security number while you're at it.
It's a big city with a lot of people. He's fine.
Yeah, he's down in the King of Prussia, on right across from the mall. No, that's the Wawa. Shout out Wawa. You know what I'm talking about, Cheese.
The Wawa.
Wawa's a fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have those up here. That was like one of the first places I went where they had the kiosk where you just like type out your sandwich and then it just comes like. I was like, wow, this is the future. Ages ago, dude.
So you were talking about hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
A hip, a hop.
Before the break.
To the hop. Hip. I stick my dick in the salsa dip. Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, which is stick your dick in the salsa dip.
I'll show you that later. It's new rappers I'm listening to.
Guys.
The Northern Boys, shout out. Want some real depraved old men rapping. It's pretty fun. But yeah, Philly's fun.
One episode? I'll bring up chat here so I can actually read it.
Yeah, we're miles.
Sorry about the eating on stream, but I was eyeing that muffin.
And then you like left it there, like all abused and just laid out.
It's just splayed.
Jeez,
splayed and splayed. We're in the deep dive. We were talking about
we were talking about Elder Cheese.
We were talking about Elder Cheese
4.5 minutes.
But that's what's so cool about what we were just doing though, with the ancient fromage, young milk, Elder Cheese. That is playing with language.
Yeah,
and like
much like hip hop,
you get the visual. Yeah,
and like the Jabberwocky, like using things and creating a larger, more thick atmosphere with your words.
Thick.
And like you said, it's always.
If you add 3 C's to thick, it makes it change the sound.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good example too.
Mm-hmm.
And then language is always evolving. I like slang.
Yeah.
Like, hip hop has a lot of slang that's always changing. And then of course, like, I have friends from the UK. They've got a lot of cool like sayings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first met Kirby, right?
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Hey man, what's up?" He'd be like, "Yeah, good." And he'd be like, "You all right?" That's what he'd say.
You all right?
They said, "Are you all right?" They'd be like, "You all right?"
Are you
and
all
I was
right?
like, and then like Abso and I were like, "Yeah, we're fine," because usually in America, when you ask someone, "Are you all right?" It's usually concerning.
Oh.
We say, "What's up?" Because I'll be like, "Hey, Matt, are you all right?" So I'd be like,
my shit's fucked up. It's like,
I always thought he was asking like my state of mind and if I was all right, like, which he is, but it feels a little different.
Yeah.
And we talked about that with him too. It was like, it just feels a little. We just weren't used to it, and then we got used to it. And then I heard him one time, like at a pub, like that back and forth, and it's just much like how you have a pre-programmed response.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you go to, say, the market or something. You ever go to the market and just say something crazy?
I actually have been starting a new pattern of saying weird shit in places where I know no one is gonna remember me. Like I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
I can just be a little weird. Like
today, I'm in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
in that I can embarrass the crap out of you.
Like that Hannaford there.
Oh yeah. You could do the same to me.
Well, no, I was picking out that candy for us, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, my buddy wants me to pick up. There's someone just standing right there, and I was like, what do you think? M&Ms will be good? Like just asking him, like, I was like,
Wouldn't it be funny if it
this
was
is
someone I
awesome.
knew?
Maybe.
You know, who knew? Like
This dude CP Sketch here that just wants some M&Ms for the car. Sorry, chat. My chat hasn't caught up yet, so definitely keep saying stuff. I just can't see it right now.
Yeah, I miss Wawa too. I can read that.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good, huh?
That is good. Yeah, no glasses. No glasses, mofo.
Yeah,
over
see
here.
this? I'm the one nerd at the party who doesn't have the glasses on, and it's not contacts.
That's how you can blend in.
Everybody I hang out with, you all fucking wearing glasses, man. Look, check.
Yeah.
Let me put those on. Check out how awesome I look too. I should have these things.
Probably do look good with them.
I can't see shit. How do you think?
Yeah. Actually, you look very distinguished.
What about this look with the bald?
Yep. That now you're you.
Am I a revolutionary?
So what is it?
We have an
No, wait,
adjust
hold on.
system
Is it-
here, everybody.
Is it a network communication app, or is it a is it a it is a new age sort of social dynamics app?
Oh.
Like what are you developing, sir? Like, 'cause it's definitely something. Like, what's your game about?
I'm coming out right. Yeah, I'm coming out right now in Gamecom.
Yeah.
Behind that guy who
Those
just got
of you-
interrupted. Did you
Those
see
of
that?
you, just listening, he's got my glasses on, and he looks like every guy you see in an interview about some new software that's coming out.
So, this coming season, 2023, Bethesda now is working on
Star.
What
This
do
is the first new franchise in 25 years, guys. I can't see a thing. Like, I'm
What do
literally
you-
like
what do you
the
have to
fucking
say?
walls going back and forth when I move my head.
do you-
How the fuck, Matt? Oh. This is
Sir Wigglesworth, what do you have to say about the bugs in your game?
They'll be worked out. Trust me, we've patched these things. I'm addressing these. See, I've been at it for a while, you know. I'm
You even
rubbing
had the glasses adjustment down? Yeah, Elder.
yeah, so...
all right.
That's
I'll
funny.
stop sweating them up. Those are pretty nice glasses, man. They got some nice weight to them.
They're pretty good. I think they're actually too heavy, but
No, yeah, that's what I like. I like the weight of
Baldur's
things.
Gate 3, yeah, last night. So on the Space Viking 42 stream,
Yeah, which
Last night.
I was watching most of that while I
There
did
were-
work.
there were a handful of there were so many bugs in the early version of Baldur's Gate 3, the early access version, that me and my brother are having like bug PTSD. We're like, is that a feature or is that a bug? That seems like it could be a feature, but like there were so many bugs that we're just like, we don't even know anymore. Like, what is a bug and what is a feature of this
Oh.
game? So like Katie Cat 3's in chat talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and that's what. Yeah, is it how do you explain these bugs in your game? But they did an amazing job cleaning it up. Like, it is so much better than it was
That's good.
before. And I had a blast last night, and you saw like how we were having a good
Yeah.
time. I'm really excited to play with Katie Cat and Elder for our other campaign. We're gonna do a campaign where we're playing the good guy. This time in that other campaign we're being
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't get that vibe last night.
You didn't? You didn't get the wanting to kick the squirrel
I guess.
and the basically learning how to play music just so we can steal shit.
okay.
Yeah, like that. There was that one.
Yeah, I didn't understand what was.
Yeah.
I was actually confused by the music. I was like, what the? This is really kind of in depth. Like I was
Yeah.
more like
It's very
taken back by like
so.
the side, like in Witcher. I watched my
I
friend
hope
play
you
Witcher.
watch.
A lot of side hustle
Yeah.
stuff.
I hope you watch when we play with Elder and Katie,
Yeah,
because then you're gonna see that we do a lot of like helping people and like being
Oh.
kind and not punching people for no reason, like we did. Like we punched that guy who was fighting with that Ifrit dude.
Oh yeah, and then I was kind of commenting on like the cheese strats you guys were using,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was hoping Elder Cheese was in there,
'Cause of the cheese strats.
just to mess them a little bit. But no, you're.
Interestingly, that's not why his name is Elder Cheese.
Oh, I figured it's because of the knob. I heard he.
What are you referring to?
No.
sir?
I don't know why you call yourself Elder Cheese.
So-
Why are you the oldest
let's-
fucking cheese, buddy?
Look, I'll have to covertly eat people when no one is looking. Yeah, that's true, Elder. Are you going to be a vampire? That'll be interesting, playing a good guy vampire, a righteous vampire.
But that makes sense
That'd be
now because
funny.
you were like kicking bugbears like off the. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you guys doing? But it is if you're dishonorable. That's like, yeah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
That's like Bronn, kind of from Game of Thrones, like kicks the dude out the moon door, and he's like, "Hey."
Like the mind flayer
I
that
won.
we found that you can talk to.
Mhm.
Oh, you didn't know this, but the mind flayer at the beginning, you can talk to that guy.
Psycho
But no,
Mantis.
I just threw a toxic barrel on top of him and broke it on his.
Oh, cool.
Like, he died instantly.
You know, I have a tendency to want to play the evil character too, but I always feel like I go through good the first time, and then I never go back like bad. But
Well, a lot of these games really benefit from it. Like, Effect, it's a completely different game.
Yeah, I gotta
when
play
you-
those.
When you play it on the evil version, it's so
better.
It's different. No, the thing is with Mass Effect, it's about the story.
Mm.
It's the same game, but it's how you want the story to go. And the same thing with Baldur's Gate, except I think evil is easier in Baldur's Gate because you're not relying on rolls as much. It's your weapon and your armor and your attack when you're playing evil, because you're going to be killing people more than you're going to be talking to them and trying to get out of situations.
I heard that they dropped the ball though in that game. Like it didn't matter in the end. They just like
Mass Effect, yeah,
it like
Yeah,
ended the same either way, kind of, and they retconned it or something.
The first Mass Effect game was done by BioWare alone.
Oh.
And then the second game was BioWare and EA, but BioWare had BioWare had some say. Right, BioWare had more say. So by the time the third game came out, almost all the original team had quit because of EA's new policies and stuff. They didn't agree with it, so they went off to make their own games. And so the third game was almost all EA and barely any BioWare staff. So the story had completely gotten pushed to the side. And all they were focusing so much on multiplayer, they were focusing so much on other things that the story kind of fell flat. And your decisions from the first game on matter through all three games. Like you can transfer the save over.
Oh, okay.
And so it made that third game feel so just
Disjointed.
lackluster.
Yeah.
It made it feel like my decisions in the first game are still mattering here, but in the very end of the game, they don't. They don't connect to the end.
Yeah.
That's why the ending was so upsetting. From a sci-fi writer standpoint, I think they did well with the explanations of the ending. But
Okay.
from a gameplay standpoint, they sucked because you didn't have any resolution to all your effort.
Gotcha. I think the only two that I played for games, I played at least 3 games. Fable, the original Xbox Fable, that was one of the early games where you could do both. I might have went evil on that one actually. And then Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, I ended up being good. And then the one that was really hard, I guess, was BioShock.
BioShock's great.
Because I loved it. I didn't finish the last one, but I couldn't kill the kids. Like I felt, because you could farm the kids and get like crazy like extra shit.
Yeah.
And you really like paid a price if you didn't. But I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna like.
Yeah.
And so I got a special like 100-point achievement. I'm like, yeah, I'm a good person achievement. Look at that.
You didn't sacrifice your morality for power.
I couldn't do it, man.
Good.
It just, I mean,
you will never be a politician then.
It was such a it was such a corrupted world,
Yeah.
and everybody was hooked on drugs and shit. They're doing fentanyl and stuff. And,
Red Dead Redemption 2 had some shit like that as well.
oh man, I only played the first 2 chapters. I loved it, but I spent like months in the winter, and then it's like it's really hard because you're like, I'm a grown ass man. Can I do this all day? And I want to, but I also want to make art and pay my bills. And not piss my wife off and spend time with the cats and mow the lawn. So. Hey,
so
if you could do that in Red Dead, I'd probably trade it in.
We got about 10 minutes left in the deep dive, so I want to sort of get into a little bit of why do you think people get so up in arms about grammar, even in polite conversation? Why do you think the reason is that they get it feels a little elitist sometimes?
That's what I think. I think a lot of time they try to demean someone's argument when they don't have a clear way where it's like, here's my polarized view, here's your polarized view, and it's like, well, I don't have any way to really dig into those two, and they're butting, but like, well, you spelled your wrong, idiot, so you must be stupid. So it's like it's undermining, like in Dig Dug, it's undermining, digging
for
under
a long time,
and then dropping it down a peg, and it's like, well, you spelled your wrong, you didn't use grammar, it's like you must be a stupid person, and it's like they're trying to.
What if their point was eloquent? What if the actual point they're making was eloquent?
I mean, that's the shitty thing.
Yeah.
Like if they're putting like you are and like no punctuation.
Like I'll see a lot of kids from like inner city where they're texting a lot. They'll use the short form to text faster, and it's almost it takes a while to decipher it.
Yeah.
But once you decipher it, they might be saying some really insightful shit. But I'll see like older folks, like in their 40s and up, will be like, "What is this garble gook?"
The
You know?
boomers are like, that shit's not in cursive, you uneloquent bastard. It's type. It's the fuck font do you need me to use?
I'll just turn on the cursive font and call it good then, right?
I said that to the guy at the gas station who was a little older than me. I was like, oh, I'm not that young, man. I know how to count change and write in cursive.
Same.
Yeah, every time someone's 20 and I have cash, I'm pulling that cash out. I love watching them struggle, like dimes,
Yeah.
quarter roll, like it like bricks them up a little bit.
Yep.
It's so fucking fun. Oh wait, it didn't say what the total is. Hey, want to do some math, guy?
Let me show you how numbers work.
Yeah, they taught us that obsolete garbage. Speaking of language,
You
like,
know how to count? Let me tell you, I know how to count. I got my counting down good. I got those numbers.
we didn't
working
have these
for me.
fucking iPhones.
I got 6 screens right now, brother.
Using a calculator.
we got 2 here. Instagram lives going. I'm watching chat on this one.
Yeah.
And my phone is somewhere here.
This takes me back to the Winter House and being at 32's house. He's got like multiple
dumb.
screens. Winter House dudes, there were 3 streamers and they all had stream setups. What is that saying?
It's just it lost connection. Oh my goodness! Let me make sure that this live didn't lose connection. Maybe I just lost Wi-Fi. You know, this one's still steady. We got 60 FPS, only 13%. We can afford to run something else on here while we're doing this, like stream avatars or something else.
All right.
We got some bandwidth room.
Was that like game
what did
to
Elder
entice
Cheese say
people?
here? People making people do math. There's a nasty place in hell for you. Yeah, so like math is a whole nother language.
Yeah, it's code.
There's a lot of people that think that
all code.
when we eventually it's not a matter of if. When we meet aliens,
Yeah, because they said they're around.
they gotta be. I mean,
No, they
it
said
just
that.
doesn't
Did you
make
know
any
that?
sense. Yeah, well,
They said parts. They said they're. Yeah, look, here we go.
We can't. No, I'm not even.
Like I
gonna
don't
go
know
there.
shit about
I
it.
can't even go there because there's people on one side that say it's a smoke screen. There's another side of people that say I still got to go to work, so why does it matter? There's a lot there. We can do a whole episode on that. Honestly, we could. I would love to do a whole episode on that. Let's save.
Yeah,
that for
I'd like to
another
learn
time.
more about it because
Yeah.
I'm not an alien guy. I've seen weird shit in the sky and stuff.
Okay, Elder. Thank you for hanging out.
Hey man, thanks.
Yeah, I've seen some shit too.
But like I've seen some weird shit that's kind of unexplained, but it could be lots of different things. And but yeah, now they said it politically. Speaking of language,
Right.
They said some weird shit like, yeah, there's something, but we're not gonna say. And they said like they used a certain biological.
It's like non-human biologics.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
speaking of language, though. That's that
They
politics
didn't say
talk that we
alien.
talked about.
Yeah.
They have a very specific way of speaking that both admonishes them of any accountability and concisely tells the point, removing all important data at the same time.
yeah.
So like you don't cause panic, you don't incriminate yourself, and you still deliver the message to the people that you have to deliver. And that very specific way of speaking is so annoying to me.
And well, because
I hate it.
Well, that being said, I was just thinking, we're artists, so we do the
Give
same
me the
exact
data.
thing. H.G. Wells, like,
Give me the
creating
data.
panic. Like, aliens are real. Like, we intentionally
I want the
incite
data.
things. Yeah.
I want to know the alien's name.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about like non-human biologics? I want to know if you found
wanna-
out its language. I want to know if you found out like how the ship works. But no, all we could say is we saw something, we wrote it down, and we're not allowed to even look at what we wrote down. Sorry, I'm yelling. I just realized I'm passionate about this.
No, it's
But
good
we
that
got-
you get worked up about it
Yeah.
because it's weird. And it does apply to language because it's like, maybe that's their specific language that they use, like the non-human biologic, like they've been using that for like 30 years or something.
And
like,
they're not even
like
UFOs
aliens
anymore.
Yeah, like our terms are old, antiquated, or derogatory or something. They might know the guy's name. They might be like, man,
You wanted to be called a non-human biologic. Like,
My cat went
they're fucking with Steve. Oh, it's probably because I'm here. It's probably like
hiding
under a
yeah,
table.
That's okay. Yes, it could be a guy named Steve. That's right.
Yeah, I ruined your Saturday. Usually Inky would be around. And Inky,
So
I'd pay attention to you,
yeah.
buddy.
So if anyone's watching now who hasn't followed, we'd greatly appreciate you giving us a follow, helping us get to affiliate so we can throw in some emotes, some monetization, so that we can grow this and make it even more than it is now. So if you're watching and you're enjoying it, just drop a follow. You don't even have to come to every show because it's going to be recorded. We're going to have the reruns and highlights on there, and then there's also going to be more on the YouTube channel as well. And coming down the pipeline is going to be some special stuff for people who subscribe or people who support the Patreon, either or.
Yeah, and we're going to be like putting together a lot of content on this channel and side content that's going to be available through different
Definitely check
media.
the Instagram.
Huh?
Like the Instagram's going to have a lot of interesting stuff because we're going to have stuff from both of our lives that are building into this project.
Yeah, you'll get to see. Instagram's going to be great if you're a fan of creative process. You get to see like how we started, the original collaborative painting we worked on, the sketches of what we're working on now, our cosplay as we build it.
Oh, jeez.
And that's going to be fun because like this
I
guy,
got some shit too.
this guy was in a garage and he's like, dude, and he's like running around like a kid. He's like, look, it's like a gun. I'm trying to go there later so we can like have a fight, you know,
Yeah,
let's do it, you know.
We're gonna have to go there later because we got to get the desk.
Well, okay, that's how you move tables, brother.
we do a thing with a person in a place, and then that's how stuff happens.
And you know, I feel weird too because like we kind of like do the dudesy thing sometimes, but then again, do we? Speaking of language, we're doing Hulk Hogan.
Well, we're gonna develop our own stuff. I think we're gonna end up quoting them a lot until we have our own things that we start repeating.
Yeah.
Like we already have the catchphrase of like, oh, that's how you go deeper. Now we're going deeper. I like that one.
Now
we're going in hard.
he's gonna make it overtly sexual.
That's okay.
I'm gonna design half these emotes, by the way, because all his are gonna be like fucking drill dicks and shit, like deeper.
We do need a drill. A couple of them.
Yeah. We can do an animated drill.
That'll be cool.
And we could snag a Big Doug, but Midway, hey, don't come at us.
Hey, yo.
We're not even affiliated.
We're gonna have twerking drills.
And I'm sure we
Storm
can work out right.
suggests.
Twerking drills.
Twerking drills.
Nice.
So,
What would be a raid one?
the raid one?
Yeah, like an alarm.
That's gonna be breaking through the ground in someone else's space, right? So
Yeah, I
it'd be
guess
breaking
so.
up and over. Be like raid.
How
we're
do you
coming
translate and then an emote about the side?
Up. Well, no, you just have the drill breaking up.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
It would be we gotta design a vehicle. It's like
Bustin'.
our vehicle.
Bustin'.
Yeah.
Bustin' with the thing busting up.
Busting up.
That'd be a good. Twitch isn't gonna approve that.
It will.
Bustin'.
No, it will.
Okay.
It will because it's gonna have the word and then the drill's gonna come into the word and you won't even see the word for that long. I think it'll be fine.
I love bustin'.
But we just designed one without even we haven't put anything on paper yet or talked about it before now, and we just designed it.
Yeah, that's that. You got a little bit of a sneak peek.
Creativity
at the creative program. We also
imagination.
We also do art retreats, and sometimes we do some live videos. We do live videos there, but like twice a year annually, we'll bring videos from that, and you'll see some of our creative stuff. Breaking In.
Abso's coming in with the Kappa again.
Breaking Bad. We'll have Walter Whitey.
Yeah.
Make any sense? That's so fucking dated, dude.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
I did, but I couldn't finish it.
I finished it.
People have made fun of me for this, right?
Really?
Because they finished it, they loved it. It's a critically acclaimed show. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it was.
But they made it so fucking real.
Oh yeah.
That I started to feel the characters' lives and their.
Wait till you get to the last season. It's like really
real.
like breaking ground because you start to realize. I love that it's that great anti-hero story, much like the movie Falling Down, where you're rolling with someone and they're convincing you the whole time like that they're kind of in the right, and then it's like that's kind of fucked up, maybe. But then in the end, it's like, nah, I don't like you anymore, dude. Yeah. And like that's rare for me. Usually I'll stick by someone because I'm a real gray area type guy. Like, you know. But it was, you know, towards the end, it's like, nah, man. But anyway, I'm not gonna spoil Breaking Bad. There was a movie after they released too.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of wrapping up, because the people, much
Wrapping
like that other game we were talking about, the BioWare Mass Effect.
Yeah.
You know, some people get prescribed to a certain flow in a language, and they expect a certain language in a script.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, when people are upset and they don't meet the criteria of the story, the language they create, they go on the internet and they say this sucks, and then the people come out and they rewrite another narrative
Yeah.
to appease the people, which that's very much a new thing within the last 10 years. Like Sonic the Hedgehog, that sucks, dude, and they change it. Like,
Yeah.
we never had that kind of feedback, and that's an interesting way to see how language has evolved.
If a game sucks,
oh yeah, people just
you had to just deal with it.
yeah, you rented
There's
it
no
and you were
updates.
out, or yeah,
There's no internet connection.
you didn't even know how to beat it. You had to buy
And-
Nintendo Power too.
I think the reason why these game companies created a system to update games and to make them better over time is because of what happened with like the Atari ET game.
Which wasn't a bad game. That's the
It
thing.
just didn't sell.
And
And then like once it didn't sell, like what can we make better? Why is it not selling? You know,
Well, here's the thing.
it's a marketing problem though, right?
Well, and here's the misconception.
Jeez.
So what's his
People
name?
here with my underwear.
I can't remember. It was Cawthorn. I can't remember the guy's something. It's like a 3-name thing.
Yeah.
Orson Scott. No, that's the guy right. Animal Farm. Anyway, he made E.T. Whoever programmed
Orson
E.T.
Welles?
No, I'm just fucking around.
There's
So,
so many names. There's
Whatever the
mixture of
dude's name
5
is,
names
maybe
there.
you guys know in the chat. Whoever made the E.T. game.
Yeah.
This is a good example of language. Most people don't know he made Yar's Revenge, the #1 selling Atari game of all time.
Yeah.
And then E.T. is the exact opposite. He also made Raiders of the Lost Ark. These games were trend-setting for the time. And when I played E.T., and when I played those games, I didn't get them, but I loved them. They were an adventure, and they were different. They didn't feel like anything. He took different ways about it, and I didn't think they sucked. So a lot of people say E.T.'s the worst game ever. For me, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was broken because he only had 2 weeks to make it because the holiday was coming out, and then they overproduced more copies than they had consoles. So it's not that they didn't sell them; they just had too many. They thought everyone's gonna buy like 3 copies of ET. No, and so they buried a bunch in the desert. But in history, the narratives get changed, and then it's like this guy made the worst game ever, but he also made the best. He was also under a lot of pressure, and to a lot of people, E.T. wasn't even really that bad. If you were like growing up in a time where games were like just pixels spinning around, because those games were adventure games, and they would become games like Baldur's Gate you were playing last night.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for people moving away from shooters
Yep.
and being clever and trying to write something different in language, then, without E.T.,
Yep. I mean,
sucks being a creative
that's true.
brain,
It's
man.
all very true.
Yeah.
So to wrap up the deep dive, I think we all just need to loosen up.
Like, swear more?
I think we need to loosen up with swearing. We need to let kids swear. We need to let.
Yeah.
No, it's about meaning. Like if your meaning is delivered concisely and well, the way that it's spelt shouldn't matter. The way it's pronounced shouldn't matter too much. But if you like completely lose the meaning because you're pronouncing every word wrong, like you're making it so that the current state of society and the way most people talk is completely beyond you, then you're not going to be able to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
Like that matters. But when someone's trying to have a passionate discussion and you harp on the fact that they didn't say the right there or the right your, or there's a couple others that people get really upset about. And I used to be that person. In fact, I still get upset with myself when I don't do those properly.
Yeah, I'm conscious of it because you know you're judged.
Yeah.
And if you're posting stuff, it's there forever or whatever.
Yep. So I think that's why I wanted to bring up this subject, because I wanted to sort of bring about a bit of a culture shift. Not that like I feel like we're important enough to create an entire culture shift, but I would like there to be some more looseness when people are having just conversation. If you're writing an important document, or if you're trying to educate people, or if you're writing a novel and you're trying to convey the story properly, there's beautiful made up languages and made up words in novels that fit the story and the world. And I feel like that's always going to be awesome. But if you're just having a conversation and having fun and being silly and making light of it, try to just loosen up.
Yeah.
like you don't. I don't need anyone saying "shit's lit, fam" in my legal document or in my. I don't want the documentary to go. This lion is straight bussin'. I really don't want. I don't want.
This lawyer's gonna put me away forever.
Like I really don't want. I
messes
don't,
with credibility.
I don't want David Attenborough to be like this.
I do.
This guy.
Whatever you're gonna
of,
say.
Kind of, yeah. I think it'd be funny. But would
You'll
you
get
would,
that
would
soon
you,
with AI.
Would you watch an entire documentary, 2 hours, say 2 hour documentary, where he's constantly slinging slang, and like it's funny for a while, right? But was it going to be for the entire thing? That's the question.
Yeah.
Like maybe it will be.
Yeah. Usually the novelty wears off.
Look, I think we should do that as an episode of Rise in Mind, maybe for the YouTube channel. We should do a ridiculous narration of a documentary. Find some of the free stock footage that's out there of animals, and we'll just be like, this goddamn dolphin is a piece of shit.
Thank you.
Just like straight up, just like this dolphin's name is Jeff, and he's an asshole, man. Look what he's doing to these other dolphins.
Thank you for suggesting that, because it's like Matt is always wicked cool to say the exact same thing that I've always wanted to do, but nobody will do with me. And
I used to do that shit when I was a kid. Like, we'd have fake radio shows with me and my brother.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think me and my cousins
That's
used
why
to
it's
do
so
that
fun
stuff.
to live stream with my brother, because we get back into that feeling of like,
That young way.
we're kids again. And a little bit of that happened last night when I'd sneak up on him when we were sneaking, and I'd be like, hey Isabel, because his character's name is Isabel. I'd be like, hey Isabel, I'm right behind you. Why
Was that your brother you were playing with?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know your crew. Really.
Why are we sneaking? He's like, I don't know. Hiding behind this rock. I'm like, I'm glad that we're sneaking. We're about to attack somebody. Be like, yeah, they're over there. I'm like, oh no, and then I'd start to like freak out. And he'd be like, don't freak out, don't give away our position. Like he'd get into character, and we'd like get back to when we were kids.
Bringing back those yard games where you'd run around and play army or something.
So,
yeah.
like the way with language, you can actually mold and shape an emotion and a feeling, and go back to the nostalgic moment, even just with the way you say things and the way you deliver it.
In slang, like I was saying earlier too, like I say a lot of stuff, like, you know, I throw into the rad and the awesome, you know, those were, you know, I used to wear neon bracelets, you know, slap bracelet, like rad, awesome, and they became these exclamatory words that I just like to represent. And then sometimes you find it endearing to jump into someone else's, you know, time period and grab some stuff from the 70s or say some stuff now without trying to be cringe, you know. Like, be the old guy saying the young stuff to be cool.
Are you ready to
we move it on?
You ready to come out of the mine?
All right, man. We got to see the light.
We got enough dirt. We got crime.
Take a moment and breathe deep. It's time for the breath.
All right.
Fresh air.
Onward and
Hey,
upward.
look. We can.
This is a, like, while we have this up, this is actually a little snippet of what our suits meant.
Yep. This is.
We already got some of the stuff gathered.
Yeah. This one I drew. I love the mat that I. You just look like you look tired.
Like, what is this?
You're like, huh, and I'm trying to be reassuring.
Yeah.
That was the vibe I was going for.
That was the
like,
vibe.
Like, and then the font work, you know, a little busy, but that's not my strong suit.
Oh, that's good.
He cleaned some of it up with color. I'm getting better on design. Design is, speaking, you know, like language and stuff. You know, we're artists, right?
We are artists.
So it's something we can talk about a little bit. It's like we have not only in nerd culture, we do conventions and things. So we have nerd and art. So we have these hybrids that we get involved in.
The art nerds.
But there's in every every field there's language,
Yeah.
and then there's also definition, and we get a lot of like tension in the community because are you an artist? Are you a crafter?
Are you a content creator?
Are you a maker? Like
Our buddy Amanda Call, she has made these T-shirts that say "artist, not content creator," and it's an angry cat. And I want to get a shirt. She's got to get the right size for. I'll get you one too when she does it.
nice.
In case if you're not at that convention.
Yeah, I like that. I almost thought of not calling myself artist because of that reason, and I like that term. But I'm a craftsman and a crafter and sculptor. I consider landscaping art.
You are a material artist.
Motherfuckers call me a Renaissance man.
You're-
Leonardo da Vinci.
Well, you're also a man of no medium. You're the man of no medium because you have all the mediums.
yeah, mixed.
Yeah, but I
Mixed
like
media.
But I like treating it like the idea of a no man's sky.
Mm-hmm.
They'd say no man's sky is space. That's why they called the game No Man's Sky that title,
Oh.
because that means outer space. Because there's no men out there. There's no one out there. That's when they thought there's no one out there. But you because you're using all mediums. It's like you're the man of no medium.
I'm the trash man. I'm the garbage man.
I'm the trash man.
I'm the trash.
I come
man.
in there, I start slinging trash. Right? Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans out there. Yeah, I'm the trash man. So funny. I love that. I love that bit.
You know what's
from that show.
wild?
It's so
Speaking
good.
of Always Sunny, I noticed it came back.
It did.
It-
More? They're
it's-
making more?
It's on, I think, Hulu.
Oh, they actually are making new episodes.
Yeah. So what I did
Danny
because
DeVito must be so tired.
it said like new episodes like
Yeah.
when I was on Hulu and I was like, wait, they're back. So what I did is I went back and watched the original It's Always Sunny.
Mhm.
You want to feel old? I thought that was a fairly new show, in the scope of things. That's like 15 years old. They look crazy young, and I think it was
damn,
full. I think it was full frame, dude, when it started.
Wow.
Yeah, you should watch the first episode and then watch
Yeah.
the first episode of the new season, all HD and widescreen. And they're definitely like becoming middle-aged men. I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
like they.
Like Charlie Day is getting up there too.
Yeah, D might have had some work done. Like, yeah, it's yeah. Charlie Day looks pretty good.
Did any of them grow beards?
Dennis.
Bigger beards?
Dennis, who's Dennis? Rob Elroy, or whatever his name is. Yeah, no, beards are the thing to do. You wanna, ladies, you wanna look young forever.
But then you get some of the gray.
I know, fucking.
But I'm not judging you. I'm saying it looks nice.
I'm a.
I
I would.
don't want to be perceived as young anymore. I hated that.
I almost thought about dying, but my wife was like, "No, they're cool." So what happened I had a few, and then the pandemic popped off, and it was like, I don't know. About that time, it was like, like a lot more came in. I'm like,
Right.
shit. But for the scope of things, I mean, shout out King of Slock,
King of Slocks.
King of Schlock, another great Twitch guy. That guy's 6 months younger than me. White as snow, baby. So hey,
Yep.
we all age at different times. So
Darn.
finish the yarn.
Yeah. I gotta bring up the Bart Simpson trap beat again.
So I'm so
kidding.
I'm so like in this part of my brain. See it right
It's
there.
a different part of your brain.
See
there?
it right there, dude.
What about this
I'm
one with
pointing to it.
John Wick in it? Why you don't like doing it?
What?
You don't like rapping?
No, I love it. I was actually spitting some hot fire, like fucking for a minute there on the drive in over some like 70s beat or something. It wasn't even a beat. It was like some song. I don't even know what it was. Oh, Abso. Hey, I really like that Jethro Tull song, the train song. What's that called?
Mm-hmm.
Never listen to it. Okay.
Ready?
Is that John Wick?
It's John Wick. It's better than what it was.
Oh, you fucked with John Wick. You
Oh
get that,
no!
Get that intro.
Everyone knows you don't fuck with John Wick.
That was not Russian.
It was not.
Give him the money. Was that? Remember the guy?
This guy. This fucking guy. John Wick. John Wick. Eyes in mind.
I can't do it, dude. My brain is literally shut
new
off.
Blood, new face, new place.
You have to do it.
New blood, new face, new place.
Turn up. Turn up.
Rise in mind,
up.
redux.
No.
Give no fucks.
Give me this. Give me this.
No, well, we don't want to like throw off the microphone here.
That's all right.
Okay.
Is there, is there more?
No, yes, but this is like there's like multiple trap beats in here. So like the first one's gone now.
Gone forever?
Gone forever.
Is that how this works? What is this?
No, it's not gone forever. It's like, see, there's different sections. Drag it. See?
Yeah, well, I figured that much out. But you led me to believe that I couldn't go back into it.
Oh, sorry. There we go. There's the middle of that one.
What the? I just come in the middle of the beat.
Middle of the beat.
Middle of the street.
Rise in mind.
I'm drunk again.
We're drunk again.
No, hanging out in the back with two illicit men. Get on nuts. John Wick, fuck shit up. I'm about ready to bust.
Now we're playing with language.
Through the ground.
That's cooking with language.
Profound sound in which I spit all around. Call up the town, motherfuckers. We're getting down for the breath.
Rise in
Fresh
mind.
air.
Learning to be kind to ourselves, to yourself, to us, to them.
I like those rhymes. Us, to them. Here's an easy thing.
Yeah.
See, you want to rhyme on every snare. See, wait. But you can space it out. Hear the snare?
Oh, is that why they do sounds when there's no
Wait.
snare?
See, that's a snare.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna count 4, and that's the structure.
Okay.
So you can actually rhyme on the second snare. So there's the second,
Oh, train
There's the
song?
third.
What's the train song?
and there's the 4th. So you can actually space your rhyme out that much.
Mm-hmm.
You can rhyme on every one, but so you can be like
Us and them.
we'll wait till it starts.
What's the rise in mind? Being kind
Yeah.
to yourself. To
I'm playing
us, to
around.
them.
Here I am on that. Oh, they just dropped the fucking snare out.
They did.
All right.
That's
next,
when
next
you got to
beat.
freestyle.
Yeah, I go straight a cappella off of the dome. Be all corny like that. Okay. Oh, this is some Nosferatu shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is your breath of fresh air, y'all.
See?
Breath
It's
of
a little,
fresh
you
air.
can figure out your BPM.
Getting fresh.
So this is a little
Breathing
faster.
deep. Making it.
Yep.
Making it. Something. I don't know.
Wait,
My brain.
here
just
we
fried.
go.
Here
Just
we
a
go.
second. Me and Matt. I probably shouldn't mention. So you can actually express it out like
Yeah.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
like
like take
that's
the-
how they used to rhyme.
Well, I'm trying to do so thematic that my brain is like going through words like crazy. Like
Yeah, I know, but
we're
but if
taking
you,
a breath. We're breathing in. We're breathing deep. We're taking it fresh. We're making it.
yeah,
I
see.
lose it though. I always lose it at that.
Well, the structure.
Yep.
I think it's the rhythm, and like you said, you struggle with the rhythms.
I struggle with the continuation.
Can you hum over this?
No.
Like
Oh, you know, like scat-
Can you
scat
create?
play
But
over
yeah,
it?
basically like so that's basically what you're creating is a rhythm over that. So it'd be like
I'm the scat man.
dee da da doo da dee da da
Do-da-da,
dee
do-da-da.
da
Oh,
da
get the
dee da do
rhythm.
da
Yeah.
do do da da do do da da da
And this is
da
where-
but to find da
Yeah.
da da da. I got
Nice.
enough to fucking go around with the sickness. Look at me, I don't have to spit the shit explicit, but I say fuck you
There you
anyway. Hey, it's the type of way that I wake up every day. Get it, flip it, kick it, jump down in the mind, grind up and behind, a stick of drill in your behind. I'm a motherfucking crazy savage, like Randy.
Yeah.
I manage to throw motherfuckers over the ring. Look at me, I'm no king. I don't got a throne. I sit on my ass. Toilet bowl.
Toilet bowl.
See?
Straight. Bowl shitting. All up in
Straight
here.
toilet. I like that. See, you got some there.
I'm that guy in the background going, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just the deep voice guy
You're
in the
that-
background going, oh yeah.
So you,
Yep.
all right, you can be my
Spitting.
hype man.
He's
Abso
spitting.
actually drove me completely
Yeah.
insane the other day. She's like, I can be a hype man for this. In it. Because it was UK
In
shit.
it, in
In
it.
it. She just kept saying in it. And I'm like, shut up. I'm like, that's crazy for the ADHD person
Yeah.
to get annoyed.
Like tea and crumpets. Tea and crumpets. Getting in it.
Tea and crumpets getting in it.
No, they
They've
had
been known for not having good teeth, but I know that's a myth. I know that's a stereotype and kind of thing. I know we shouldn't do that.
In
But
it.
we got that all up and in it.
well, and then you can go regional too, because everybody has their own style.
South
now
of
if we're getting in
Wales,
the
south of Scotland, we got up there in the middle of London.
you know, I mean like cadence and rhythm.
Oh, so that's regional?
It's regional too.
damn.
Everybody's different how they
We're in
rap
it. Yeah,
and
that's
time,
cool.
generation too, because it's
That's
like,
awesome.
It's 50 years. So like if you're talking about the UK, there's
Yeah.
a style called grime, and grime is a repetition where the rhythm doesn't change much. You might.
The rhythm doesn't change much. We're getting ads. We're getting ads up in here.
But
We
it's
gotta
this
change the
idea.
rhythm. We
It's
gotta
this
make it
idea of like
rhythm.
coming intense and forward.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's like they can or like island music and stuff they're inspired by. But like, let's see if we can get like their cadence.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have rhymes for it, but it's like.
Try to spin it just for Horizon 9.
But it's something like that, you know. It's like where it's like Snoop Dogg would be like, "Ha, yes, and you know, like there's like certain ways the West Coast like cool, laid back surf feel that
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets from the LBC, but then you get like Stormzy and shit like from grime where it's like, ooh, yeah. You been fucking around with the boots now. Everybody get in the group now. I don't give a fuck, man. You know, it's like they have see the rhythms stay the same. So you're just like, and they're all pretty much like that a lot, but it's supposed to be like more pushing and intense. And then I noticed like you hear some of that stuff in some like trap now, but yeah, you can come up with all kinds of flows.
Mm-hmm.
I used to rhyme over classical music, and it doesn't even have a beat. I would.
Well, those do have a flow though.
But yeah, they have undulating rhythms, so you have to try to figure out,
Yeah.
like, listen to Baroque music and stuff. But yeah, I can show you like different skills to do that. But all right, you ready?
I'm ready. Rise.
And then there's a feel to it.
Rise.
See it dropped out, so you get quiet.
Rise.
All right,
Rise.
ready with the rise.
Rise.
Ain't fucking round.
Rise.
Matt opens thighs.
Rise.
Not playing sick.
Got a
Politic.
mind.
We're getting nasty.
We're opening the ground.
Getting explicit. See, it's quiet.
Splitting.
Motherfuckers be coming quick. I don't give a shit, man. Coming explicit. Ripping all these motherfuckers with the flip. Look at me, I'm going really swift.
Yeah.
Here's clean. Management, inequipped for it. Don't fuck with me, I'm
Yeah.
grip for it. I'll hit you with the grip fist. Coming quick with the vengeance of inches away from throwing you from the ring turnbuckle. Fuck around, knock your whole family out and fuck up your uncle.
Tighten your equipment. Get with it. We're going down. Deep and down. Going down into the dive. We're rising in mind and we're going down.
See? Going
I like
down.
repetition.
Underground. Yeah, you can. You know,
Don't
you
repeat yourself too much.
You can create a rhythm with just like down, 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 down with the sound that I see, down, down, down with the sound that I be, down, down, down with the sickness quick, down, down, down with the sickness dick.
Ground.
The
In
sickness dick.
the sickness ground dick.
Well, you know what I was doing there?
Grounding?
And I was doing something that's a signature that they do a lot,
Yeah.
where they rhyme 2 words at the end.
Right.
So it's
And then
easy-
you rhyme the ending of the sentence, but you repeat the other stuff.
Yeah, and you can say the same word,
That's good.
like you could say you could say the word long. You could be like, I'm not fucking around with the long drill, coming up with the long kill. Everybody is on you. You don't want to fuck around long do. You know, I don't know, like I'm spitting an arrow like I'm Yondu.
Yeah. We're in the
You know,
caves.
like now you're
We're in the caves fighting monsters.
whistling an arrow like I'm Yondu.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the guy from Guardians?
Yep, whistling an arrow like I'm Yondu. That's good. Yeah, that is.
Oh, look at
Is
this
that-
one. And then
that's a good-
sometimes you feel it, like,
that sounds like Dig Dug.
yeah, here we go.
Dig Dug, dig deeper. Go into your mind. The minds of your mind.
Here we go.
Get it going.
It's you want to wait. This is technically intro.
I know, but this is like where we.
It's gonna
introduce-
drop right now.
Yo, I'm MC. We got CP.
There's the beat.
CP and MC.
Just move.
I like
See?
that.
See, sometimes I make up the hook like I
That's
can't
good.
who play. You get kind of a sound what that hook would be, because the hook has a distinct area too, where
Yep.
you'll hear it, you'll understand the construction of the beat like after a while, and it becomes intuitive. And I think for people whose brains go all around, like freestyle rapping is like kind of a cool exercise in language.
It is.
Let's go.
It's sort of like
Undermine.
That's what sort of takes me back to our.
Drill up and I grind.
It's a flow. It has a song nature to it. That's how we learn how to talk in general. And that's how you can learn how to speak more eloquently too. Start to roll your lips and like roll your tongue properly and move it against your teeth in the right way. Word comes out just right.
Yeah. And you know, hip
That's
hop
helping me do it even
with
like
the
having a beat, like
yeah.
helping me talk actually.
Yeah, with the cadence, like, and think about where it came from. Southern Baptist ministers.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the power of God. You know, like that stuff. How in like Martin Luther King, like, well, I have a dream. You
Here
know,
in
like
the Church of Doug, we talk about going in the mines.
Yeah. So it's like
we're going to praise Dig Dug. He was in the mines and he fought the monsters for our sins.
yeah.
In the mines.
Let's see if I can do the Charles Dutton like
Praise be
Alien
to
3.
Doug. Praise be.
You're all
Dig.
gonna die. Just no matter how you check out. On your feet or on your fucking knees, get out.
Nice.
See that? You know,
Wow.
you can just add a word to a quote
That
to make it work, and that was a
imagery
direct
was
quote
good.
from Alien 3.
But that's also like that fits our.
But he had a
show.
cadence because Charles Dutton goes, "You're all gonna die."
How many
It's just a
times-
matter of how you
I want you
check
to, like,
out.
channel that passion though.
Yeah.
That passion in that statement. How
On
many
your
times
feet.
were you on your knees?
Fucking knees.
With how many
begging.
times were you begging on your knees for your brain to just work right? That's why
Mm-hmm.
we do. That's why we're digging. That's why
right.
we're in the mines. That's why we're digging. We're trying to find the gold.
And you can do that. You can start slow, be like on your fucking knees, begging, and then you can wait till the beat comes.
Yeah.
Then you can, and then you when it comes up.
I just
wait.
want to feel something.
Well, I am much for begging. I say fuck that motherfucker. I'm just egging
That's good.
that xenomorph's house. Putting
Yeah.
toilet paper rolls. I'm fucking out. Up in the tree smoking weed. It's
That's
Halloween
so-
coming,
that's so
motherfucker,
entertaining.
this fall. You best believe, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you get like a feel for it. Like seriously, like do the pizza. Like do the pizza. It just went on. Like okay, I'll do a version of do the pizza over any beat.
We can wrap that there though.
And it's gonna not be the exact lyrics.
That's too bad.
Hey, we get an intro.
Ready?
You guys know a lot about eating pizza.
I don't know if you guys can even hear the music,
Well, yeah, I don't even know if they're whose they are.
but when I make some clips of this, we'll put some music.
But it's not gonna be the same. It won't work.
I'll find something.
Do the pizza. Wait, I fucking
Oh,
can't.
this is like the noir version of Do the Pizza.
This is like angry fuck you up pizza.
This is
Okay.
neon lights in the rain.
Okay, want to drop some? Well,
Okay.
well. Do the pizza. Do the pizza. Wave your fucking hands up high when
Please
I
don't
greet
mean
you.
it.
You know, it's like slow because
I
you gotta
always-
figure out the BPMs.
Always try to do please to meet you like right away.
Yeah, do the pizza. Wave your hands up high, pleased to meet you. When you can go extra fast, but yeah, this beat is boring.
Abso's over here, pussy on the ground, pussy all around, pussy making sounds,
Yeah, that's her
pussy
rhyme.
lost and found. That's
She made that up in a
Don't
chat.
be gross. It's about cats.
Pussy on the ground, pussy on the ground, pussy in the mouth, pussy on. Oh wait,
No,
I,
you don't eat your cat. That's not about
no,
cats anymore.
I kissed my cat on the forehead.
Yeah, okay, that's what we could make the music video. You're kissing your cat when you say that line. Yeah.
All right,
Alrighty, we're
change
gonna-
the speed up.
alright.
Well, let me try one more. Do the pizza
Alright,
with a
we're gonna
better
go
beat.
over here.
That was fucking terrible. Okay,
Yep.
let's try it out.
How's that?
Let it come out.
Yeah, it's
Let it build.
yep.
Get a feel for it. That's why they do the yo.
Yo.
And then they try to
Yeah.
match it up.
Rise in Mind. MC and CP.
Do the pizza. Do the
MRC.
pizza. I wave my hands up high when I greet you. Do. It's such a corny thing. We'll try to do a verse in it when it
Yeah.
drops. Okay.
So
Coming non-stop with the pizza pepperoni, hot out the oven. I'm your one and only. I don't give a fuck, man. You can
How'd
bow
you
me.
know it was
I don't
gonna
give
be
a shit,
fast?
man. I'm only.
how'd you know it was gonna be fast?
I can do my own rhythms fast. I just have to land on the snare.
But you jumped on the
Well, I can hear
pacing
the
so quick.
BPMs. I can hear it go.
Yeah. No, see, this is why.
But I
wanted to do
program
this.
rhythms too. Like
This.
that probably rhythms programmed into my
Yeah.
head.
All right, so I wanna just dissect that a little bit. So like language and cadence and knowing the rhythms and stuff.
Mhm.
You were able to pick up on that just from the music playing, and know how fast you're gonna have to talk to match it, and also convey the feelings and the actual imagery that you want to send to another person.
Yeah, it's really performative and expressive and
so
like kind of tricky.
To To wrap up this whole episode.
To wrap up the rap.
Yeah, we have this power to take what's in our head, put it in another person's head.
Yeah.
That's other animals can't do that. They have to gesture things. They never get a clear picture of what the other animal is doing or about to do. That's why they're always on edge. Like humans have this ability to remain calm because we can make each other aware of what the situation is through language.
Mm. Yeah, and you can actually go back on things too, where it's like people are like, dude, that pissed me off. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't intend that. Like you can retcon and fix things. Like, I mean, not everybody does, but and even inadvertently, sometimes like, oh, you know, like I heard through the grapevine that pissed at me. Like, other people can help facilitate that stuff. Yeah, language is very powerful, and it does it. And with rap and with song, it gets, for me, like really at the human soul, where I don't give a shit if you're spelling there wrong, because I'm probably going to change the emphasis of it anyway, and it's more about emoting and feeling connected to something.
Yep.
So, like, if it exists in nature and you want to connect to this soulful human experience, for me, who's someone who always wants to connect with things, it doesn't matter if it's a person sometimes, you know, that's great, but being a weird only child, sometimes you connect with your toys or your pet or things that are less verbal. And in my way, I spent a lot of time driving in cars, and I was like, listen to music and figure out ways to connect with it. And as I worked, like anything, the more you learn something, the more you practice anything, you will get better at it. So if you want to rhyme, if you want to draw, if you want to do any of that stuff, you can. Look, people are predisposed for something, but it's. I'm going to tell you right up, it's not a gift. It didn't get bestowed upon me. It might be kind of wired in me, but I always wanted to experiment and make stuff with art, and that's why I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Because I just did it for a long time. And I'm better at certain fields because of only the time, and I get really burnt out when people go, what a gift you have. Like someone gave it to me.
That gives me, that causes me a lot of distress.
I worked fucking hard. I've been working decades on this stuff, and I'm just saying, not to toot my own horn, if you really like anything, within a matter of time, you can get pretty skilled at it. Especially in the internet age and with YouTube videos, you don't even have to go to school for it. You can. So if you want to rhyme, you learn some fundamentals. Like already today, you have probably a different understanding.
I do have a better understanding. I can get over that wall I hit in the middle of a rhyme. I start to think like whatever I'm about to say isn't going to work. If I can get over that, then I feel like I could just keep it rolling.
And practice other people's stuff and try to stay on the beat and learn how they flow.
Oh, like singing along.
Like too. Memorizing, memorize a couple, like spend time like memorizing something and see if you can do it. And then I'd say write some stuff. Take your poetry and try to work that into a rhyme. A lot of the stuff that's in my head isn't solely original. It's programmed lines that might be from stuff I've written before. So, like, when I'm kind of like, where do I go? It just defaults. And sometimes I get a spiritual experience where, like, do the pizza, it transcends. And I just shut off and I somehow worked the whole beat and that was it. And it was pretty good on a one-off. And 32 always goes, I'd like to do a better studio version of this. And I'm like, I know, but I don't think it's ever going to get the feel.
That's why you got to take every time you've done it on stream and save it and cut it to where you start singing and stop, and then take all those snippets, make them into a 3-minute song, and then like make it so they blend, put a great beat behind them. I bet you it would sound awesome.
I'm just gonna shove my song into AI and be like, fix it.
Yeah, and then it's gonna have like little hidden messages.
Yeah,
all throughout it. Yeah.
Do the pizza. CP's a fraud. This is AI. Like, I am your overlord. I uploaded myself to it.
You can be a man, you can cry. You can stay here for the night. is here.